How we doing, folks? How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Hey Siri, set a 1 hour, 45-minute timer.
1 hour, 45 minutes, starting now.
How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, your Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways, Houston, Texas, as I do each and every, most days, right? Most days, but daily. I come on here a lot, each and every day, to share with you how to defeat type 2 diabetes. Insulin resistance, is it reversible? Do you have to have insulin resistance for the rest of your life? Or can you do something about it, folks? That's what we're here to uncover. That's what we're here to tap into today. Can you reverse insulin resistance? Or is it something that you got to have for the rest of your life? Do me a favor, folks. When you're coming into the room, do me a favor and double tap that screen. Bebop that screen. It's called Bebop that screen. Double tap that screen. Man, we're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about all things insulin resistance. It's reversible. Can you know, all of that stuff. Also, folks, when you're just coming into the room, let me know where you're from, man. What city are you from? What state you from? What country you from? Because it doesn't matter what city you're from, doesn't matter what state you're from, doesn't matter what country you're from. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed for most people. And then that's what we're going to talk about today on this live. Insulin resistance can be reversed. Shout out to you from Riverside, California. Shout out to my Californians. I used to live in California. A year and a half. No, lived there for a year and a half. Yeah, nice. Shout out to my California folks. It's Kelley, folks, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. That's where I am now. But we're here to talk about all things insulin resistance. What's insulin resistance? What's covered under insulin resistance? Well, PCOS, that's one that's covered under insulin resistance. Prediabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes. These are all high blood pressure, sorry. These are all related to insulin resistance. Yeah. It's a big villain, folks. It's insulin resistance thing. It's a big old villain. Just imagine yourself being in the movie. And in the movie, you're the hero of the movie. You're like Luke Skywalker. And the villain is insulin resistance. Ha! You got to figure out how to defeat the villain. In the end, the villain always loses, right? Thanos in the Avengers, he lost. It took him like 4 movies, but he finally lost, right? Thanos. So the villain will always be defeated. So that's the thing. You can defeat type 2 diabetes. Yeah, it's a formidable foe, yeah. But we don't have to live by that same old story in 2026 as we've been living in 2025, 2024, folks. Because here's the thing. Do me a favor, folks. When you're coming into the room, do me a favor, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, folks, and then hold down my face right here, boom, and then share out the live. Power share out the live with anybody that you know struggling with prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, because we're gonna put it into it. Like I say in all of my lives, I've been saying it on all my lives in 2026. We're putting this whole insulin resistance thing to bed once and for all. How we doing, folks? And when you're just coming into the room, double tap that screen and then share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with insulin resistance. Because this year, in 2026, is going to be the year that we do it. That we do what? We put insulin resistance to bed. It ain't ever coming back and resurfacing ever again to destroy anyone's life ever again. Shout out to you, Latasha Wilson, for joining the room. Shout out to you. Grand GG30, I30, Grand GG33. Man, shout out to you for joining that for coming into this room. How we doing, folks? It's Kelley, Certified Holistic Nutritionist. No, I don't want to co-host. All right. Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen, double tap that screen, share this live out with anybody you know that's struggling with this chronic health condition, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. Because here's the thing, folks. If I reverse insulin resistance, if many other people have reversed insulin resistance, if there's doctors that's writing books that said you can reverse insulin resistance, why can't you? If there's doctors, there literally are doctors. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. But there are literally doctors who are writing books. Let me see. There are literally doctors who are writing books of how their patients are reversing type 2 diabetes. Doctors, this is multiple doctors. Dr. Jason Fung, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Ben Bickman, there's a whole lot of them. There's a whole lot of them. And not only are there doctors saying that you can reverse type 2 diabetes and writing whole books about it, I personally myself have reversed type 2 diabetes. Not remission. We're not using remission around here. We don't use that word. We say reversal. Reversal. Full metabolic. We say reversal and restoration. Those are the two words that we use, reversal and restoration. Okay? Those are the two we use. Full metabolic restoration. That's what we're doing in 2026. There's folks who are joining my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, and they're getting amazing results in 14 days. Insulin resistance, I told you, we're putting that thing to bed in 2026. So any questions that you got for your boy, throw them in the chat. How we doing, folks? If you're just joining us, it's Kelley. We're here to talk about all things type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. How can you reverse it? Is it reversible? Do you have to have it for the rest of your life? And the answer to that question is no. No, you do not. I told you. I don't know if I told you, but I did it. I did it myself. I know you're struggling with it. I know you're in that hole. You're in a hole where you're struggling. Like, yo, you had diabetes for type 2 diabetes for maybe 10 years, 5 years, you know what I mean? 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. You're in a hole. You're struggling. Just like how I was. I've been there. So if I've been there and I've got myself out of it, I don't have type 2 diabetes anymore, folks. I don't have angina anymore. Heart disease. That's what that is. Restricted blood flow to the heart. Chest pains all the time. I don't have any of that anymore. And I'm no longer obese, folks. I lost all of the weight. I'm from an extra large to a small. So if I can go from an extra large to a small in less than a year and reverse type 2 diabetes, which it is reversible. Why? Because type 2 diabetes is a reversible condition. Type 2 diabetes is a very, very reversible condition. Insulin resistance is a very, very reversible condition. The secret is this. Here's the secret. Understand what it is. Everybody knows what it is. Folks know that. Here's the thing. You want to know where type 2 diabetes comes from? Here's the secret. You want to know where type 2 diabetes comes from? And it's a simple answer that nobody wants to hear, but it's from your lifestyle. Your lifestyle. The foods that you're eating is what's causing you to have high blood sugar, high blood pressure. It's the foods that you're eating. What are we eating? We're eating a lot of stuff that I was eating. I'm going to show you what I was eating. We're eating a lot of the wrong stuff, right? I'm going to show you what I was eating right here. I'm going to show you what I was eating. Here it is. Here's what I was eating right here. Look at this. I'm always going to be resistant. Insulin resistance, fight the power. If you choose to be, if you choose to be insulin resistant, you can be insulin resistant as you want. If you choose to be, Jackie Maris. You know what I'm saying? That's called insulin. This is called 2 weeks before my diagnosis: diabetes, heart disease, obesity. Right? 2 weeks before my diagnosis, I took this picture. 2 weeks before. Now you see that? No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. You see that? I made a choice. I made a choice because I knew once I figured it out what it was, I made a choice that type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. So I also made the personal choice to reverse it. You see that? That's the difference. This is the difference between choices. These are choices right here. The choice to eat whatever I want, whenever I want it. This is the secret, right? This is the choice. Choice is to eat whatever I want it, whenever I want it, however I want it. And then the choice of eating what I was supposed to eat, changing my lifestyle, moving my body, eating the correct way, and getting the right amount of sleep, and managing my stress. No more diabetes. Now, no more diabetes, no more type 2 diabetes. No more type 2 diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity, right? Type 2, we're talking about here. Pre-diabetes, all of that stuff. Look at that. You see that? I made a choice. Type 2 diabetes, folks. It's going to be a very, very controversial thing to say, but it is true what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. It's personal. You can either choose to continue on with the condition, or you can choose to change, because that's what it's going to take. That's the secret. That's the secret, folks. We're going to talk about insulin resistance here in a second. Do me a favor, folks. I say I agree with you. When I watch foods I eat and hike and work out, it gets better. That's it. That's it. That's it, Monique. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Everybody knows. Thank you, Tropty. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Everybody. But nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to do it. Think of it like this. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. So everybody says that they want to reverse type 2 diabetes. Everybody says that they want to get off the medication. Everybody says that they want to do this and do this and do that. But nobody wants to actually put in the work that is required to get that. You feel what I'm saying? Nobody. 9 and 10 people won't do it. Only 10% of the people will do it. 10%. That's it. 10. What's a regular glucose reading? Between 70 and 100. Between 70 and 100 is a normal glucose reading. What do you think about intermittent fasting? I think it's great if you've trained your body to fast. If you are insulin resistant, what we're going to talk about right here, you got to be very, very careful with how you fast. There's a technique to it, right? You got to know what you're doing when it comes to fasting. You just don't wake up one day and sitting on the couch and then the next day you're running a marathon. Okay? You don't do that. You don't do that. You got to train for it. We can collaborate, pre-check your DM. All right. As long as you're not, are you talking? Okay, we'll see. Do diabetes have you craving sweet? What food to eat? Does diabetes have you craving sweets? Yes, it does have you craving sweets. And we're going to talk about that right now. It's because you're insulin resistant. And what the hell is insulin resistant? Let's talk about it, folks. What is insulin resistance? See? I told you, when I tell people that type 2 diabetes, folks, it's a personal choice. Ooh, a lot of folks leave. It's all good, though. It's all good. Because it is what it is. like it was for me. Now there's some cases where you can, okay, it was unfortunate that you got type 2 diabetes due to some steroids, right? It's unfortunate. I get it. I get that. That's unfortunate. People get type 2 diabetes that way, insulin resistance that way as well. But there's still some, even though it happened to you that way, there's still something that you can do about it. There's still something you can do about it. Peeing often reversible. Do you mean like if you're frequently urinating? Yes. Yes. When you're frequently urinating, that means that your body is trying to get the sugar out no matter what. It's trying to get the sugar out. Folks. So, but yes, once you get the sugar out, then things go back to normal, right? Well, you fix the insulin resistance, which we're going to talk about right now. Festive boss. What the hell is insulin resistance? Do me a favor, folks. Put the words IR in the chat. Insulin resistance, IR, classes in session, folks. If you got any questions, throw them in the chat. Classes in session, so I try to get to them when I can. But we're getting ready to put this thing to bed. 2026. What the hell is insulin resistance? We're going to knock it out the park. Bing! That's it, 2026. So 2027, we ain't talking about this anymore. We're knocking it out of the park, folks. IR. Put IR in the chat or insulin resistance in the chat if you ever wanted to know what insulin resistance is. IR in the chat. No, don't literally put that, but I got you. Thank you for your help. You're quite welcome. Someone just cured type 1 through stem cell therapy. I don't know about that. I ain't heard about that one. Yeah, infrared. No, not infrared. Insulin resistance, not infrared. Let's talk about it, folks. What the hell is insulin resistance? Who can tell me? It's Kelley, folks, Certified Holistic Nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach, because a few years ago, I was in worse shape of my life. Insulin resistance, you name it. Heart disease, type 2 diabetes, you name it. I don't have any of that anymore. So let's get into it, folks. Insulin resistance. Number one, who can tell me what happens? Put it in the chat. Who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar when you eat carbohydrates, rice, pasta, bread? Who can tell me what happens to the blood sugar? Any guesses on what happens to your blood sugar at that point? Also, folks, do me a favor, share this live out with anybody that you know struggling with type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, because this year, folks, we're getting rid of it. We're getting rid of insulin resistance in 2026. You know what I'm saying? It's it. It's done. Yeah. Here it is. Sugar peaks, spikes, the ability for your cells to absorb energy from the sugar in you. Yep, that's what we're going to talk about. Festive boss. That's it. That's it. Raise your cholesterol, blood spikes. Okay, here it is. Here's insulin resistance, folks. That's the start of it. Raises cholesterol, blood sugar spike. Okay, your blood sugar does spike. Your blood sugar does rise. And when your blood sugar rises, just think of it like this. Whenever you eat a long string of spaghetti, all of that spaghetti, that's all glucose molecules. That thing's got to be broken up, and boom, when it gets into your body, it's just going to go everywhere. That turns into glucose, aka sugar, right? So you eat carbs, it turns into sugar in your bloodstream, a lot of it. Your blood sugar starts to rise. Check it out. Then your pancreas kicks into high gear. Your pancreas says, whoa, what's going on, folks? I noticed a lot of sugar in my bloodstream. So the pancreas's job is to take that sugar and it is to put it into the cells. So it has to release insulin. The pancreas has to release insulin. Right here, it says release the hounds, release insulin, so that the insulin can open the door to the cell. It's over here. Open the door to the cell. Which, so you can get the energy. You see how I'm moving right here? You see this movement? That's all due to glucose, right? That's all due to glucose. That's it. That's how you can move. It's energy. That's what glucose is, energy. Without it, you can't move. You feel what I'm saying? Important stuff. So insulin's job is very, very important. And its job is to attach to one of these receptors, open the door to allow the glucose to come in. That's it. That's how it's supposed to work. And you're supposed to just have energy and move your body, and that's it. That's how it's supposed to work. Wouldn't it be simple to say don't eat anything processed or simple carbs, basically paleo only? No, would you think it would be that simple, right? I'm not diabetic or pre-diabetic, but insulin resistance, my pancreas is losing mass volume. Every time I eat sugar, I get super tired. That's a good one. We'll address that one too, sunshine. Thank you for saying that. Here's what type 2 diabetes, the reason that you're tired, here's what type 2 diabetes is. Type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance and pre-diabetes and all of that stuff is, in simple terms, it means it is your body's inability to be able to properly process energy. That's what insulin resistance is. That's what type 2 diabetes is. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. So it makes sense that you get tired, right? Right? It makes sense that you get super tired. Check it out. We'll get into that, though, a little bit more. So you eat carbs, it turns into glucose in your bloodstream. Your pancreas kicks into high gear, says release the hounds. Who are the hounds? That's insulin, okay? And then insulin's job is to attach to one of these receptors to open the door of the cell so that the glucose can come into your cell so that you can have energy. But that's the good stuff. But here's where it starts getting crazy. Insulin starts coming around too much, and the cells start resisting. The cells start resisting. Why do they start to resist? Because number one, insulin's come around too much. The frequency of it's come around too much. Number two, let me put this down over here. It was a little bit too high over there. Number two is they're already full. The cells are like, we're already full, bro. We're already full. We're already full. This is what the cells are saying. This is why they're starting to resist. They're starting to put up a freaking rebellion, basically. You know what I'm saying? They're setting up camp like, yo, insulin, you're not coming, you can knock on the door all day, insulin, but you're not getting in. Insulin's like, yo, but I got a bunch of glucose out here that needs to get in. The cells are like, we're already full. We already told you, dude, keep it moving. So the pancreas overhears this. Okay, here's the crazy part. The pancreas will overhear this, right? It will say, what? There's a problem between insulin and the cells, but the pancreas says there's a problem. There's still glucose in the bloodstream. So the pancreas says, okay, we're going to show those cells. So the pancreas will just start pumping out more and more insulin. More and more insulin will get pumped out of your pancreas, like pump, 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 more. Why is your pancreas doing that? It's because your pancreas is not going to stop until all of the glucose gets out of your bloodstream and into the cells. So it's going to keep sending out more and more insulin, and the more to try to overcome the cell. To overcome it, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna bully you, like, yo, you're the big bad wolf. Okay? Your cells are resisting. But the more you pump out over the years, the more your cells will resist. It gets to the point where it gets so bad that the cells start resisting so bad that they're like at the top of resistance, these cells, that after about 10 years of having type 2 diabetes or insulin resistance, after about 10 years, it's usually when you have to get prescribed insulin, right? Yeah, it's time to get prescribed insulin. You're like, that's when it starts getting serious. You're like, well, why do I got to have insulin prescribed to me? Well, it's because your cells have become so resistant, your pancreas needs some help. Your pancreas is like, we need help to get the freaking energy into the cells. We need help. So that's why you got to do it. So here we go. The cells are resisting. So then what happens next? Since the cells are resisting, now insulin is also a fat storage hormone. It's responsible for opening the door of the cells, and it's also responsible for telling your body to store fat. You ever notice that you can't lose weight no matter how much you freaking try? Why do I have to take insulin? Well, you think about it. Why do you have to take insulin? Well, like I just told you, your pancreas needs help. because the resistance on your cells has gotten so bad that you need help to try to overcome the cell, to try to burst the door open of the cell. Like it's basically like I'm gonna kick the door in, like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, that's what's happening. So that's why you gotta use outside insulin to help kick the door in. You know what I'm saying? Because the cells are already full. That's why you gotta take insulin. But here's the thing. The more insulin you take, you're not gonna lose any weight, and the more resistant you become. So this is not I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I can't give you medical advice. But here's the thing. The more insulin that you take, the more fats, the more signal you're telling your body to store fat, because it's a fat storage hormone, and it's impossible to lose weight. You want to lose, let's say you wanted to lose 15, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, whatever, and you can't lose it. The reason that you can't lose it is because insulin is high. If insulin is high, you're never going to lose the weight. It's impossible. It's an impossible feat. It's like jumping across the Grand Canyon. It's impossible. So then that sends the signal to store fat, and then you get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. Who gets tired? Somebody just say they get tired, they get hungry, they get cravings. Folks, what happens too much insulin? What happens when too much insulin? The more resistant you become. The more insulin you take, the more resistant you become. Who gets tired, folks? So what can you do? What can we do to reverse the insulin resistance or lose the weight? I'm about to tell you right now. The story's getting good. Who gets tired, folks? Who gets hungry? And who gets sugar cravings? Who can put a me in the chat? If you get tired, you get hungry, you get sugar cravings, folks. Put a me in the chat. So what is it to do? I'm gonna tell you what to do next. I'm gonna make sure you understand this whole process and how to reverse it. I'm telling you what it is. Then the next step is how to reverse it. It's quick, super quick. What is the cell full of? Glucose. It's already full of glucose. It's already full of energy. It's already full. That's what it's full of. Energy. Me, all three. Me. A1C, 6.8, 57 years old, 40 pounds, no carbs. Yeah, okay, thanks. Me. You get one of the three, or maybe somebody said all three. Here's the reason that you want to know the reason that you get tired? You want to know the reason that you get hungry? Here's why. It's because if you got to realize what the hell is type 2 diabetes. What is insulin resistance? It is your body's inability. Here's what it is. It is your body's inability to properly handle or manage energy. You know what I'm saying? Energy. That's what type 2 diabetes, energy. The stuff that when I was dancing earlier, you know what I mean? That's energy, glucose. That's what type 2 diabetes is. You can't handle that. You don't know what to do with it. It's all over the place. It's whacked out. It's bugged out. Here's what this thing about your insulin. This is what type 2 diabetes is. It is just like when it comes to energy, your body, for my New Yorkers, your body's bugged out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your insulin's bugged out. I mean, your energy is bugged out. So that's why you're tired. It makes sense why you're hungry, because how do you get hungry? Why do you get hungry? Well, you can't properly manage energy, so you start getting tired and you start getting hungry. This is because your body's asking you, where's the energy? Give me energy. So it starts craving, like you start getting hungry all the time. An hour and a half after you eat, you're hungry because you told it to store. Look, insulin is a fat storage hormone, right? It's fat storage. So if it's storing, the whole time it's storing, you're getting hungry, you're getting tired. Think of it like this. You go to the grocery store and you go shopping for some groceries. And when you come back, you put all of the groceries away in the cabinets and the refrigerator. You put everything away. You store it away. But you're just like, oh, damn it, honey. We didn't take anything out for dinner. We didn't leave anything out for dinner. Oh, my God. Then you got to go get some takeout, right? You got to go get some takeout. because you don't have anything to eat. You're hungry again. That's what's happening right here. That's why you're tired. That's why you get hungry. Why do you get cravings? Okay, why do you get sugar cravings? Oh yeah, that's a good one. Why do I get sugar cravings, Kelley? Okay. You want to know why you get sugar cravings? Because you got to think about what the hell is type 2 diabetes. we covered it already, right? It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. It is your body's own inability to properly manage energy. And you get tired, right? So what is the quickest form of energy that you can get? And your body knows this. Your body knows it. The quickest form of energy that you can get is from sugar. Am I right or am I right, folks? Am I right or am I right? It is the reason that if your blood sugar drops low, you like, quick, give me some orange juice. Quick, give me an apple. Or quick, give me something. So your blood sugar can go up, right? That's the quickest form of energy you can get. Give me some quick. Give me some candy. Right? You think about what type 2 diabetes is. It is your body's inability to properly manage energy. This is why you get hungry. This is why you get tired. You get cravings. And then here's the last part, and I'm going to answer your questions. Last part. And then you repeat this whole process. And then you get tired. You get hungry. You get cravings. And then you repeat. You get. So then you go eat carbs, and then it turns into glucose. And then your pancreas kicks in high gear. And then that turns into insulin. Insulin gets released, attaches to the receptors. But the receptors say no, go away. The blood sugar stays in your bloodstream. So the glucose has to go somewhere. So it gets, in the meantime, it gets stored as fat. And when it gets stored as fat, you get hungry, you get tired, you get cravings, and then you repeat that process every day. And then this is every day. You eat, you get hungry, tired, cravings. You eat the carbs. It turns into glucose. Your pancreas kicks into high gear. Insulin comes out, the cells will resist it, okay, because we already got too much or we're already full. And then it says, in the meantime, store it as fat, and then you can't lose weight, and then you get hungry, and then you get tired, and then you get cravings, and then you repeat that process the very next day, and then you eat That's it. You want to know what insulin resistance is? You want to know how to fix insulin resistance? What if it's not being stored as fat? It is being stored as fat somewhere. Okay, that's a very good question. You're probably asking, why are you asking that? Why are you asking what if it's not being stored as fat? Why are you asking that, Joanne? That's a better question, right? So this is insulin resistance, folks. If this is making sense to y'all, now I'm going to get to your questions right now. So put your questions in the chat if you got questions about insulin resistance. I'm about to get to them. Who's got questions? Is this making sense to y'all? Put a health yes in the chat. This is making sense to you. How do you fix it? You fix the foods that you're eating. This is where it starts. You replace the junk food with real, whole, unprocessed foods. This is the only way that you can do it. You replace the junk food with real, whole, unprocessed foods, fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and whole grains and legumes and beans. Lots of beans, right? Beans are going to be your friend. And then linear sources of protein: chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, tofu, tempeh, things like that. Real, whole, unprocessed food. You eat that most of the time, and you move your body. That's it. That's the most basic thing that there is. That's how you reverse it, the same way that you got it. Okay? That's it. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, how do you fix it? Yes, we're going to go into deeper on how to fix it. But that's how you fix it. You break the freaking cycle. That's how you fix it. You break the cycle. And where does the cycle start? With the food that you're eating. Because the food is the medicine, and the medicine is the food. And if you want a resource that says what kind of vegetables should I be eating, download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's absolutely free. It's in my bio. It's linked to my bio. Absolutely, the Ultimate Veggie Guide, folks. Absolutely free. Go grab it. How do you fix it? Questions, folks. Any questions on insulin resistance? What's a good food to eat after fasting? You want to start off with a savory breakfast, right? Savory breakfast, a high protein meal, a non-starchy veggie with a healthy fat. That's how you break your fast. Yes, start over. I just joined. Love your teaching. Anita, I shout out to you. Is clean shrimp okay? Yes, you can eat seafood. Yes, you can eat some shrimp if you'd like to eat some shrimp. Start over. I just joined. I'm gonna break it down. Here we go. Can I survive off of beans and nuts? Can you survive off of beans and nuts? What? Hell yeah. When it comes to if you left me on an island and they were like, yo, what the food that you want to eat where you get all the nutrients that you need? You got protein in there, you got carbohydrates, resistant starches in there, you got fiber in there, man, you got all types of nutrients in these beans. You just give me a variety of beans, that'd be good. You know what I mean? Beans are going to be your friend. If you're insulin resistant, folks, beans are going to be your friend. I'm telling you. Okay, let's get into it. Fiber, protein. Yes. What about fiber and protein? Yes. But yes, fiber first, protein, yes. Eat those with your carbohydrates. Do not eat carbohydrates by yourself. I don't know if that's what you're asking. But don't beans have carbs? Beans, let me tell you something, Dean. They do have carbs. But it's a different kind of carb, folks. It's a different kind. Okay? It's called a resistant starch. It ain't just a starch like rice. It's a resistant starch. What's a resistant starch means? That means that basically when you eat it, they don't get digested. They don't get digested in your small intestines. So they're resistant. So when they get to your large intestines, the gut bugs will eat it up. They love it. So basically you're basically like getting free calories, basically, because it's not being digested, the beans, but they're loaded with nutrients. And when they're not being digested, guess what? That slows the release of glucose. Yes, your blood sugar is going to rise, but the way it's going so slowly, the glucose is like, yeah. Oh, I mean, the insulin is like, yeah, okay, we got a chance to respond. The problem is when you're eating a whole bunch of ultra processed food, junky food, and it's causing your blood sugar to spike, and it's just a war. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Beans give me gas all day. Yeah, they're supposed to in the beginning. They will. It's because you don't have the right gut bugs yet. You got to build them up. Yeah, you got to go through the fire. It happens to everybody. So enjoy the gas while it lasts. Okay. How do you feel about one teaspoon of chia seeds before the meal? I think that is an amazing idea because you get the fiber, right? I think that's an amazing idea. Fish, yeah, you can do that. Is oatmeal good? No. Oatmeal is not great in the morning. For my folks oatmeal is good, folks, but not for my diabetics. Not for my type 2 diabetics. Insulin resistance. No, it ain't good, folks. Can I drink some apple cider vinegar before my pancakes? You can take all the apple cider vinegar that you want, Deborah, but it ain't going to make a damn difference if you eating pancakes right behind it. Because pancakes, the apple cider vinegar is going to slow it down just a little bit. It ain't going to slow it. It ain't some magic. The apple cider vinegar. Yeah, it helps, but it ain't no magic for stopping that glucose rush from them pancakes when they come in. Whoo! Your pancreas is going to go silly. It's gonna be so much glucose in your bloodstream. Your pancreas is gonna go silly. The insulin is gonna go crazy. The cells are gonna start to resist even more. Yeah. Questions? Somebody had some questions about fat storage earlier. I didn't get to it because sometimes they come in kind of fast. Any kind of beans. Prefer you do. You can do any kind of beans, yes. But there's I got a guide. I don't have it on my. I got the ultimate veggie guide in there right now. But I do have another guide, and it's called the bean cheat sheet. All the beans that you would ever, not all of them, but what are the most common beans? Like red beans, black beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, pinto beans, garbanzo beans, chickpeas, right? These kind of beans. And that's absolutely free. But that's the ultimate. Go get the ultimate veggie guide. It's linked in my bio. It's absolutely free. Should I take the medicine the first to give me the first? What? Should I take the medicine they give me first? I can't tell you get on your medicine or get off your medicine, folks. I think someone was asking me about the challenge earlier as well. Here's the thing, folks. I cannot tell you to get on your medicine or get off your medicine. I can't tell you any of that stuff. But here's the thing that I can tell you, that it's the food. It's the food that's causing you to have all this insulin resistance, folks. And I'm going to show you where this is, and then I'm going to get back to your questions. Here it is. So here's where all the goodies are, folks. So if you just joined us, so if you click here and then you click on my picture again, folks, I'm going to show you where all the goodies are. It's right here. Here's where all the goodies are. See that? There's the ultimate veggie guide right here. It's absolutely free, folks. If you ever stood in the grocery line and wonder what the hell groceries should I be getting, this is the ultimate veggie guide right here. Yep, the ultimate veggie guide, absolutely free. There's a free master class, folks. There is a free PDF that you can download. There's what else? It's Disney World, folks, for my diabetics, insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, all of that stuff. But here it is. This one is the big one. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is for our folks who are ready for serious change. If that is you, if you are ready for serious change in 2026, if you say, I'm ready to kick insulin resistance to the curb, if that's you, then this 14-day challenge is calling your name, right? It's calling your name. It is for my folks who are pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes. It is a nutrition challenge. Nutrition challenge, 14 days. I will put this 14-day challenge up against anything. I'd put it up against any man-made medication that there is, and the 14-day challenge is going to win. I can confidently say that 100%. Our side's going to win. Okay, and this is the 14-day. Why? Because we're using real food. There's no substitute for real food. So I told you I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell you to get off your medication, get on your medication. But what I can tell you is there is another way, and it's called the food, because the food is the medicine, and the medicine is the food. That's what I'm teaching you in this 14-day challenge. I'm going to take you outside of your comfort zone for 14 days, but you're going to like it. It's the only thing that I got to charge you for, because it's real people getting real results. It's normally $99 to join this 14-day challenge. But if you use the discount code of PROGRESS, you join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge for 20% off, $79 to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And for my folks over here as well, sorry about that. Got two cameras over here, got some folks over here. Here it is, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Click that link in my description over here on my other site, and you'll see it right here. Boom, boom, boom. 14-day challenge is right there. Use the discount code PROGRESS, because that's what we're going to make in 2026. PROGRESS. Let's see. Here it is. Here it is. No eggplants. You can do eggplants if you can stomach eggplants. I've been eating good no later than 6 p.m. My blood sugar is still running in the 170s and in the 170 and 180, waking up. Why? Because it's called the dawn, because you're still insulin resistant. And it's called the dawn phenomenon. It's called the dawn. Everybody has high blood sugar in the morning. But the fact that you're insulin resistant, that's going to make your blood sugar 170, 180 in the morning, right? There's been people who have joined my 14-day challenge who started at 186 in the morning. By the end of the challenge, by the end of the 14 days, she was in the 80s, waking up every day in the 80s. That was even after a week, she was waking up in the 80s, right? She started off in the 180s, just like you. Miss Parker? Parker? Shout out to Miss Parker. How long must I do intermittent fasting? It dropped the reading and comes back up again. I guess well, here's the thing about intermittent fasting. You have to know what you're doing. You have to train for it. You have to train to intermittent fast. You just can't wake up one day. You just can't wake up one day and be very, very insulin resistant and then fast. You know what I mean? You can't do that. You got to train for it. Start off with a minimum of 12 hours, then 13 hours, then 14 hours, then 15 hours. You increase every week. Where is the ultimate? Oh, okay. Somebody asked, here we go. Is glipizide any good to take for a type 2 diabetic? I know something better than glipizide. Here's what it is. Lifestyle first, medication second. You cannot fix it with the diet and lifestyle first. Okay, then we can talk about the medication. The 14-day challenge is, if I put my 14-day challenge up against glipizide, you put glipizide up against this 14-day challenge, I'm gonna blow it out of the water. You put metformin up against this 14-day challenge, I'm gonna blow it out of the water, right? Over 400 people have joined this 14-day challenge. So I got a lot of evidence, folks, a lot of evidence that says you don't have to live with this condition forever. If you don't want to, it's your choice. Where's the veggie guide? The veggie guide is linked in my bio. So if you click here, you click on my picture again, Click there, you click on my picture again. It's going to take you. It's linked in my bio. Right here it is. It's linked in my bio. It's going to take you right here. See it is? Boom. There it is. The ultimate veggie guide right there. The ultimate veggie guide. Absolutely free, folks. The ultimate veggie guide. It's going to be the ultimate veggie guide. There's a lot of veggies that I named on there, but onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, cucumbers, cauliflower, broccoli, spinach, arugula, things like that. It's on that ultimate veggie guide. Let's see, no eggplant. You can do eggplant if you want. I told you. What if you can stomach it? What glucose to diagnose insulin resistance? What do you mean? What glucose to diagnose insulin resistance? The food. That's it. That's what's causing your insulin resistance. The food. Sugar and eating carbs has affected my eyes. Yes, it has. Yes, it will. Your weight. Yes, yes, it will. Your sleep. Yes, yes. Working on changing. Not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. That's why. And I feel for you. I feel you. It ain't easy, but it's got to be done because that's the only thing that you can do. That's all you can do. To get what you want, you're going to have to change. Because for things to change, you're going to have to change. And it ain't easy, but it's what you're going to have to do, folks. You know what I'm saying? I've had diabetes for about 5 years and still can't get it under control. Numbers are outrageous. D, if you've had type 2 diabetes for 5 years and you still can't get it under control, your next steps are simple. And it's join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. Your next steps are simple. That's it. It's simple. Join the challenge. I told you what's going to happen. I will put this thing up against any man-made medication that there is. Here's the thing. The challenge is not for everybody. It is for everybody, but it's not for everybody. What do you mean by it is for everybody, but it's not for everybody? Because not everybody is willing to do what it takes to get what they want. Not everybody is willing to do it. The 14-day challenge is for my folks who are those 10% of people. 10%. There's 10% of people out there on my life. There's 10% of people out, or even in the world. There's 10% of people out there who will actually take the action of what it takes to defeat type 2 diabetes or any condition. Okay, 10%. The other 90% of people will be like, no, I'm not doing that work. I don't want to do the work that is required to get what it is that I want. You know what I mean? Yes, any suggestions? I would suggest the 14-day challenge. It's calling your name. Discount code is progress. Those would be my suggestions, D, so that you can make progress. Do you help rheumatoid arthritis? I don't help rheumatoid arthritis directly, but insulin resistance is related to all of that. You fix the insulin resistance, folks. Insulin, let's get back to insulin. It's the most important hormone in the body. You fix insulin, you fix your blood sugar, you fix a whole lot of stuff, inflammation included, right? Hi from Wisconsin. Shout out to you, Daisy. How do you join? You click that link in my bio, D. Click here, and you click on my picture again. You click that link under my picture, under my TikTok picture, and you join that 14-day challenge. You use that discount code PROGRESS, and you start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. I said start. You're not going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days, but you're damn sure going to put it on notice, just like how I did. I don't have diabetes, heart disease. I don't have any of that anymore. I put it on notice in 2021. That was my year. D, 2026 is going to be your year. I already feel it. Are you going to be part of the fantastic few or the mediocre many? You know what I mean? The fantastic few, folks. There's only a few folks that are going to be fantastic and do what it takes to reverse type 2 diabetes because it is reversible. There's only a few people that are going to step out like that. 10%. 90% are going to stay in that mediocre many. 90% of the people. For lifestyle-related disease, for a disease that's caused by the food that you're eating, just to stay inside of our comfort zone, man. The comfort zone, it's a beautiful place. But the only thing that grows there is regret. Don't be part of the mediocre many. Be part of the fantastic few that will step out on themselves. Join the 14-day challenge. If that's you, join the challenge. Use the discount code PROGRESS. Let's see, how do I join? I stopped eating at 3 p.m., lost almost 50 pounds, type 2, lemon water works also. Yeah, my babies. How do I join the challenge? Just link to my bio. Click here, click on my picture again. Do me a favor, folks. Also, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and share this live out with anybody that you know struggling with this condition, type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. I'm gluten free, so I don't eat toxic foods. Shout out to you, Daisy. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Shout out to you, TikTok Pam. Great quote. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Be part of the fantastic few or the mediocre many. I'll be part of the mediocre many. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed, folks. Look. Type 2 diabetes can be reversed, man. It's a personal choice. Personal choice. I'm going to show you how to join right now, but it's a personal choice. That's called a personal choice right there. You see that? That's the difference between making a personal choice. Because I know what once I figured it out, I know what type 2 diabetes is. I know it's a lifestyle disease. I know it's a personal choice. So if I change my lifestyle, I change my future. No more diabetes, no more heart disease, no more obesity. I made a personal choice to reverse type 2 diabetes. My mom had type 2 diabetes. My mom had not type 2 diabetes per se, but she had a severe case of insulin resistance. Let me say that. That's why she passed away at the age of 67 years old, 6 years ago, due to those complications at 67. All right? You've got a choice. We all have choices. How do you join? Somebody's asking. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again, thank you. Thank you for saying that, Traishka. Here it is right here. There it is. That's called being, this is all the goodies are, folks. This is where they are, linked in my bio, the ultimate veggie guide. Go get the ultimate veggie guide, right? It's absolutely free. All you got to pay is attention. There's a master class. There's a free master class right here. Register for the master class. There's a quiz that you can take to understand and learn your diabetes management style. All this stuff's free, folks. That's free stuff. Here it is. But the big one is here. The only thing that I got to charge you for is the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, because it's real people just like you getting real results in 14 days. What kind of results? Well, some people are taking their A1C from an 8 to a 6. Someone was taken off of their medication, glipizide. Someone was asking me about metformin. I told you, you can put those things, apples for apple, blow for blow. The 14-day challenge up against glipizide, we're going to win. The 14-day challenge up against metformin, we're going to win. The 14-day challenge up against a GLP-1, we're going to win. We're going to win. It's not even a question. I bet the whole house on black. Okay? Bet that, like, what do you want to bet on? I bet the house on black, which is the 14-day challenge that we're going to win. You want to join this challenge, if you're ready for change, if that's you in 2026, it's normally $99 to join this challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS is the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. At 20% off, $79 to join that. That is the live discount code. The live discount code to join the 14-day challenge is PROGRESS, 20% off to join that challenge. But again, this challenge is not for everybody. It's not for real. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it real. It ain't for everybody. It is, but it ain't. It is, but it ain't. It's for, who is it for? It's for pre-diabetics. It's for people with gestational diabetes. It's for people with type 2 diabetes. For people with just high blood sugar, period. You know what I mean? For people with low blood sugar. What else? Erectile dysfunction. What else? It's called the reset, folks. That's why I called it a reset for a reason. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. 2026, we're putting insulin resistance to bed. Is there any questions on what insulin resistance is and why we develop big bellies? Anybody ever wonder why we develop a big belly? You know what I mean? Anybody? When you have a big belly, folks, that's called insulin resistance. Like I had a big belly, that's insulin resistance. How do you feel about okra? Okra is a non-starchy veggie. The ultimate. I don't have okra in the ultimate veggie guide, but it's a great. It's one of. If I would have put it, if I would have thought about it, I would put the okra in there. But if you download the ultimate veggie guide, it's absolutely free. It's linked in my bio. There's a lot of good veggies on there that's recommended for my folks with insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. Any questions, folks? Any questions going once? Any questions going twice on what insulin resistance is? And then we're going to go on to the next thing. Insulin, how to join the challenge, how to do any of this stuff. Insulin resistance going once. All right. Questions on insulin resistance going twice. Insulin resistance 3 times. Oh, last thing, I was going to tell you something about insulin resistance. Why do we get a big belly? Well, it's because we have to store fat. When we store fat, and that fat and all those cells inside of your liver starts to get full of fat, all those cells, all of your pancreas, it starts to get filled with fat. And then all that fat starts to spill over into all of your other organs, right? Inside of your muscles, everywhere. Visceral fat, it's everywhere. And it forms right here around all your organs. So that's why we get a big belly, folks. And it's hard. Insulin resistance. You know what I'm saying? Insulin resistance. Okay, no questions on insulin resistance. Every time I erase insulin resistance, somebody comes in and asks, what is insulin resistance? All right. Here we go. Next topic. Since we know what insulin resistance is, nobody's got any questions on that and how to fix it. Next, we're going to talk about what's affected. So when you have insulin resistance, I got to do the little thingy. When you have insulin resistance, what's affected? Well, your A1C is affected. Do me a favor, folks. Put the words A1C in the chat. We're going to talk all things A1C because it's part 2 of insulin resistance. So it's part 2 of our topic on insulin resistance, folks. Whole grain pizza is good made from home. Well, no, not really. Whole grain or not. Whole grain or not. That's called marketing, folks. That's called marketing. Whole grain. Whole grain is still going to raise your blood sugar tremendously, whether whole grain or not. But whole grain, but yes, prefer the whole grains, but it depends on the type of whole grains on this pizza. I prefer you do a cauliflower crust. If we're talking about a pizza, I prefer you do the cauliflower crust over the whole grain crust. You know what I'm talking about? You know, cauliflower. If you can give me a cauliflower, we can have a pizza. A1C, here it is. A1C 5.7, diabetic or no? Very good question. Here it is. That means that you are in the pre-diabetic range. That means you're in the start of pre-diabetes. Here it is. Hemoglobin A1C. Let's get into it. Who's gotten their hemoglobin A1C tested before, folks? Hemoglobin A1C. Who's been having their tested before? Or who's ever gone to the doctor and they're like, yo, listen, I've got, you've got low iron. You've got all of that stuff. Low iron, everything. Put me in the chat if you've ever gone to the doctor, gotten your hemoglobin tested, or your hemoglobin A1C tested, or maybe you've got low iron. Put me in the chat. You're always tired. Put me in the chat. This is part 2 of insulin resistance, folks. It's called your hemoglobin A1C. A1C is a 5.6. Yeah, okay. A1C is a 5.6, low iron and all the time. Yeah, I did today. My results was a 5.7. Yeah, if your results was a 5.7, that means you're pre-diabetic. Is low iron released to A1C? Let's get it. Let's find out what we're talking about when I talk about iron. All right, folks, I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. I'm just going to break it down for you just like this. The word hemo means iron and oxygen. So iron and oxygen, rich blood. That's what hemo means. Iron and oxygen. Rich blood needs to be carried through every cell of your body by a protein, which globin means protein, folks. That's what it means. So hemoglobin literally means iron and oxygen rich blood needs to be carried through every cell of your body. You're like, what do you mean by that? Well, I mean, it's the air that you breathe. The oxygen that you breathe is your hemoglobin, folks. Think of how important this stuff is. Every time you breathe, in and out, that's hemoglobin. You want to know what I'm talking about? See how long you can hold your breath. And my guess is not for very long, okay? Not for very long. This stuff is so important that if you don't have enough of it, the doctors will give you a blood transfusion. That's how important this stuff is. That's how important it is, folks. A1C is how much sugar has been stuck to your hemoglobin over the past 3 months. How much sugar? And you're like, well, what do you mean sugar? What kind of sugar? Well, the same kind of sugar that whenever you eat a Jolly Rancher, whenever you eat all of that stuff, that kind of sugar, that stuff is stuck to your fingers. It's nasty. Well, imagine that sticky stuff being stuck to every cell of your body. Folks, that is what's stuck to your hemoglobin. So when it's stuck to your hemoglobin, what's it doing? Well, it's rusting it out. It's rusting it, turns it into rust, basically. It's called glycation. Because once the sugar's on your hemoglobin, you can't get it off. You can try to flick it off, or you can try to wipe it off. You can try to bring a whole cleaning freaking crew in. Once it's stuck to that hemoglobin, once it's glycated, that's it. You can call it's cancel Christmas. So it means your cells are starting to rust. It means, what does it mean in simple terms? It means that oxidative stress means that you're aging a lot fast. It's causing you to age a lot faster than what you like. Causing you to age a lot faster than what you like. Sometimes too fast. Sometimes you age so fast to the point where you check out like 15 to 20 years too soon due to the sugar glycating or basically suffocating your hemoglobin. I told you what hemoglobin was. It's the air that you breathe. It's oxygen-rich red blood cells, right? That's hemoglobin. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more. That number is a percent. That number, your A1C is a percent. Do me a favor, folks. If you're comfortable with it, put your A1C in the chat, folks. Mine got to a 6.5. I'm going to show you right here. This was mine right here, 6.5. Let me show you where it is. Let me show you my picture again. See, when I was here, my A1C was a 6 point. Yes, for the life of the cell, Charlene, for the life of the cell, which is 3 months. See, this is my A1C got to a 6.5. If you're comfortable with it, folks, put your A1C in the chat. Mine got to a 6.5. This is part 2 of insulin resistance, folks. This is part 2 of insulin resistance. It's part 2 of it. Do me a favor, folks. Put your if you're comfortable with it. Okay, let's see. All right, got some folks putting it in there. 6.1. Let's see if we got anybody over here. Why you ain't? Y'all. Mine was at 14.4. Now it's a 5.7. That's beautiful. How did you do that, folks? How did you do that? It goes from a 5.7 to a 5.2. Here we go. 14.4. Yeah, okay. Those are percentages, folks. Those are the percentages of sugar, the percent of sugar that is stuck to your hemoglobin. That's it. That's it. Mine was a 6.5. So if you're naming out the numbers, 14.4, that is the percent. 14.4% sugar on your hemoglobin. 6.5% of sugar on your hemoglobin. The question is, can you get rid of it? Yes, you can get rid of it. But it's going to take at least 3 months for it to turn over, right? It takes 3 months for the whole thing to turn over. Folks, who can tell me what happens when your A1C is a 4.7, a 5.7 to a 6.4? What does that mean, folks? Your A1C 5.7, 6.4. Break it down for me. What does that mean? What's the diagnosis at that point? 5.7 to 6.4. Who can break it down for me? Tell me what it is. Mine is a 7.5. Pre-diabetes. That's it. Pre-diabetes. That's it. Yeah, but what does that mean? What does that mean? Pre-diabetes. It don't mean anything to a lot of people, like pre-diabetes, whatever. Who can tell me what the most important hormone is in the body? If you know what the most important hormone is in the body, put it in the chat. Is it estrogen? Is it testosterone? Is it glucagon? Is it insulin? Is it dopamine? Is it serotonin? Is it cortisol? What's the most important hormone in the body? Insulin resistance. Yes, insulin. We talked about insulin resistance earlier. It's your body's inability to properly manage energy or to process energy. If you're pre-diabetic, you're recommended to continue taking metformin. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you to get on and get off your medication, but I can tell you that the people who have joined my 14-day challenge have been taken off of their medication off of their metformin by their doctor. You know what I mean? By their doctor. I'm not a doctor. I already told you. I cannot take you off your medication. I don't have the audacity to do that. You know, but I can tell you that the folks who joined that challenge, their doctors have taken them off of their medication. Some of them, the ones who did the work, because it's a system, it's a blueprint. We already know it's gonna work. It's just the only thing that there's over 400 people who joined this challenge. There's no one who's actually done the challenge has come back and said it didn't work. There's not one. Over 400 that's come back and said it didn't work. If they did the work, if they showed up and they did the work like it was supposed to, like it's designed for 14 days, there's not a soul that's come back and said it didn't work. So that's when it comes to metformin. Yeah. I would like to join your challenge. Click that link in my bio. Click that picture again. Click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that link in my bio. You use that discount code PROGRESS. You got that live discount code PROGRESS. Join that challenge. Cortisol. Here we go. I reverse prediabetes. Yep. What's the challenge? Here we go. I'm going to answer the challenge right here. Let me get to it though. But insulin is the most, I'm going to answer that. But insulin is the most important hormone in the body. The reason that I know that insulin is the most important hormone in the body is because if you ask a type 1 diabetic, how long can they go without their insulin? And the answer is going to be not for very long because they need their insulin. It's the most important hormone in the body. So when you're a pre-diabetic, it means that you are already resistant to insulin. It means that it just hasn't gotten bad yet. You already insulin resistant. It's just not like over the top bad yet. You feel me? So that's pre-diabetes. Resistant to the most important hormone in the body. That can't be a good thing, folks, if you are resistant to the most important hormone in your body. Who can tell me what happens when your A1C is a 6.5 or higher? Now we're increasing the stakes, folks. Your A1C is a 6.5 or higher. What does that mean? What's your diagnosis at that point? Who can tell me? Put it in the chat. 6.5 or higher. The challenge is for my folks who are ready for serious change. You're ready for serious change. This is a nutrition challenge, a 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. It is for my folks who are pre-diabetes, like we talked about, type 2 diabetes, very, very insulin resistant. They had it for years and they don't know what to do. And they've just been taking the glipizide and the metformins, and they've just been taking, and they just tried a new medication that came out, and then they get all the side effects, like a sudden explosive diarrhea, like they get all these side effects and all that stuff, and they just keep on taking medication, and nothing has changed in many years. These are the people who have joined this. These are the people who are ready, and those people who are ready for change. When you're ready to change that, this 14-day challenge is for you. Just like it was for me. I created it. I had diabetes. That's what mine got to, right? It's linked in my bio. Mine got to 6.5. My A1C got to a 6.5. Yes, it means that I was a diabetic. Diabetes. That's what it means. What does it mean to have diabetes? Well, it means that your body cannot properly, if you're full diabetic. Type 1 diabetic, there is nothing I can do, right? Type 1 diabetic, the only thing that you can do, you can still change your lifestyle, but you can make yourself, you can't, but you're going to be more insulin sensitive. Insulin sensitive, just remember that term. If you're type 1 diabetic, no, you cannot reverse it, but insulin sensitive, that's the word that you want. Look that word up, insulin sensitive. You know what I mean? How to become more insulin sensitive as a type 1 diabetic, right? You put that in. You can just put that into any, that's easy. You know what I mean? But you can manage it quite well. Type 1, you have to manage. Type 2, you don't have to manage. You can reverse it. Because it's your body's inability to properly manage energy. The higher the percent is, this percent, the more insulin resistant you are, which we talked about insulin resistant earlier, the more insulin resistant you are, causes more sugar to be stuck to your hemoglobin. Remember what we said hemoglobin was? It is literally the oxygen that you breathe. That is hemoglobin. So that is what it means to be a diabetic. It is your body's inability to properly handle energy. You are resistant to the most important hormone in the body, which is insulin, which is causing your energy to be all kind of crazy and all kinds of stuff. And where do you get energy from? Well, you get energy from sugar. That's where you get energy from. You get it from sugar. So if you're insulin resistant, it causes more sugar to be stuck, the sticky sugar, to be stuck to your hemoglobin, which is literally the life that you breathe. In other words, I'm saying the higher your A1C, the faster you're checking out of here. That's what it means. The higher your A1C is, it's a very, very important marker, folks. It goes like this. The higher your A1C, the lower your life expectancy. The lower your A1C, the higher your life expectancy. It's like a little teeter-totter. Remember when you were a kid and you were on the teeter-totter? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody goes up, somebody goes down. Okay? A1C stays high, life goes down. A1C goes lower, where it's supposed to be, life goes up. By how many years? Well, what do you mean it goes up? Well, by a lot. By decades. That's how many years it goes up by. You do a whole Benjamin Button. You ever watch a Benjamin Button? A whole Benjamin Button. You age backwards. There's been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Someone's 80 years old. She's 80. There's one person who's 80, another person who's 74. So it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long you've had type 2 diabetes. Your body wants to heal. As long as you're alive and kicking, you can reverse type 2 diabetes. 95% of people can reverse type 2 diabetes. 95%. The doctor said that I'm pre-diabetic. What does that mean? That means your number is between 5.7 and 6.4, right? That means that you are already insulin resistant. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. It may be, but it's heading that way. And when you're insulin resistant, it's like your whole energy. Think of insulin. When you think of insulin resistance, you think of energy. You're gonna be like, how can I process energy? Why am I always tired? Because you can't process energy. Why am I always hungry? Because you can't process energy. Why am I always getting sugar cravings? Because you can't process energy. That's what pre-diabetes is. It is the same as type 2 diabetes. It just hasn't gotten bad yet. You can still process energy. Okay. You're okay. But once it starts getting higher and higher and higher, the more your energy is going to suffer, the hungrier you're going to get, the more you're not going to be able to lose the weight. So it's your check-in. Pre-diabetes means your check engine light is on. And it's time to go get it serviced. That's what it means. That's what pre-diabetes means. My A1C is a 14 and a half. 6 weeks ago, I now got it down to 8.3. The insulin pump is concentrated to the insulin pump, concentrated insulin. You got it down through an insulin pump? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? You use insulin to get it down from a 14 and a half to an 8.3? Is that what you're saying? Worked for me, but I'd love to get off all of the meds. Worked for me? What worked for you? Worked for you, but I'd love to get off all the meds. What worked for you, boss? Mickey Crone Jr. What do I do to process it? What do you do to process what? I may have missed the first part of the question. Yeah, my engine light is on. Yeah, Hood Rich, your engine light is on. What you do? Folks will take better care of their car than they will their body. That check engine light come on, you will be over Firestone quick, fast, and in a hurry, ain't you? You gonna pull up, skirt. Hey, but that check engine light come on, and the doctor tells us we got pre-diabetes. We be like, man, whatever, and just keep on eating, and nothing changed. Whatever. It's crazy, right? Crazy. What if you're already a diabetic? What do you mean if you're already a diabetic? Everybody who's joined the challenge is either a diabetic or join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Doesn't matter if you're diabetic or type 2 diabetic or pre-diabetic. It doesn't matter. how old you are. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm sorry if it's the pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, or how long you've had it, or how old you are. Your body wants to heal. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? How can I contact you, please? You can, in my bio, you can book a call, right? So you click there, click on my picture again, you can book a call. Holler at your boy. Can you give examples of foods to eat? Yes, I can. Fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, whole grains, legumes, aka beans, and leaner sources of protein. Chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, stuff like that, leaner sources of protein. But if you want a list of the foods to eat, some foods to eat, this is the veggies, right? The ultimate veggie guide. It's linked in my bio. It's absolutely free. Download the ultimate veggie guide, right? It's got a lot of good veggies on there. It's absolutely free. All you got to do is pay attention. That's it. That's all you got to pay. But when you're ready for serious change, that's just going to be a list, right? It's a list of stuff when you're in the store. Okay, great. But if you're ready for serious change, if you're ready for structure, if you're ready for a plan that says, I'm ready to kick insulin resistance to the curb, I'm ready to get my A1C back to where it's supposed to be, which is about a 5, 4.9, 5.3. This is where we want it. Ideally, 4.9, 5.3, somewhere around there. That's a good range. 4.9, 5.3. That's a good range. You join that 14-day challenge, you use that discount code PROGRESS. So there you go, Tara Ray. Grab that. What do you say about Unime and Balance? They always talking about insulin resistance and make the body better with, yes, I will say this. Here's what I will say. There is nothing, and I mean nothing, that is, they're nutraceuticals filled with fiber, great. But there's, they say nutraceuticals, but at the end of the day, they're still a damn supplement, okay? At the end of the day. What I'm talking about is real food. Real food. That's how you heal type 2 diabetes. That's how you reverse type 2 diabetes, with real food. In this 14-day challenge, here's the thing. A lot of people could say, well, what about I just want to take this supplement or that supplement, berberine, somebody's asking about berberine, black seed oil, all of that stuff. That's all great. It's all great stuff. Sea moss, you know what I mean? All great stuff. It's all great stuff. But here's the thing. Nothing is going to beat the food that you're eating. The food that you're eating is the main culprit. So you can take all the medications and all the supplements that you want, but if you're not eating the right food in the way they're supposed to be eating, especially as a type 2 diabetic, to start reversing this thing, you ain't got a chance in hell. You're just going to be spinning your wheels because it starts with the food. I am not able to find the challenge. Can you put it in the chat? Here it is. I'm going to show you where it is. Curious one. Let me show you where it is. Are you there, Curious one? If you're there, Curious one, say me. Put a hand up and say you're there. But here it is. I'm going to show you how to do it. You see this picture? Click on my picture right here. Right there. And then a box is going to come up with my picture again. You got to click on my picture. You know what I mean? Click on where it says 4,300 right here. 4,300. Do me a favor, folks. Bebop that screen. Double tap that screen. And share this live out with anybody that you know that is struggling with this condition, insulin resistance. But right here, click on my face again. And then you're going to come here. I'm going to show you where all the ultimate veggie guide is. All of that stuff right here. Because how much longer we got on this live? We got, how much longer we have on live? We got 30 more minutes before we out of here, folks. 30 more minutes before we out of here. 25 more minutes, somewhere around there. So if you click here, click on my picture again. You want to use that live discount code. It's going to take you here. See that? Click on that link that says Linktree, and there it is. That's where all the goodies are, folks. The ultimate veggie guide, all of that stuff is right there. But there's the 14, it's all freebies. But the only thing that's not free is the 14-day challenge. It's the only thing that I got to charge you for because it's real people getting real results in 14 days, folks. People, like I told you, gotten taken off of their medication. I will put this thing up. I will put the 14-day challenge, folks, up against any man-made medication that there is. And I guarantee that we'll win. I can confidently say that. I can confidently say that we will win. So you can put it up against glipizide, we're going to bury it. You put it up against metformin, we're gonna take it down in 14 days. We're gonna take it down. We're taking it down. Okay? GLP-1s, there's been people who join this challenge have been taken off of their GLP-1 by their doctor after 14 days. We're not messing around. So this thing is not for everybody, folks. It is, but it isn't. It's only for folks who are serious. If you're serious, not everybody's serious about reversing type 2 diabetes, but if you're serious, you join this challenge. It's normally $99 to join this challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS, it's $79 to join the challenge. The challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for out of all the free stuff on my page, because it's real people getting real results in 14 days. I want you to take it seriously. If I give it to you for free, you ain't gonna take it seriously. You know that if I give you this thing for free and it's gonna change your life, it's a blood sugar reset. People are dropping their blood sugar by hundreds of points, from the 500s to the 150 at the day 14. You know what I'm saying? Real people getting real results. It's for serious folks. If that's you, if you're serious, use that discount code PROGRESS, the live discount code, to join the challenge. $79. Like I said, it's not for everybody, because not everybody's at that point yet where they say, I will do anything that it takes to reverse type 2 diabetes. Even if it's a little discomfort. Even if it's a little discomfort for 14 days, for me not eating the foods that I would been wanting to eat, you know what I mean? Something's got to change. Change always asks for a little discomfort up front, but it pays you back with freedom. Like somebody just joined the challenge. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Because like I just said, change is always a little discomfort. It always asks for a little discomfort up front. Up front, like, yo. But it's going to pay you back, woo, with so much freedom. So shout out to you for joining that 14-day challenge. Congratulations. Because your life, and I mean never, is going to be the same. Your blood sugar, never going to be the same. So shout out to you. Check your email. If you're in the United States, you should have a text message too. Right? But if you're in another country, check your email and get to log in, reset your password, get to work. Get to work. That shirt is fire. Thank you. Not a real account. You're quite welcome. Let me see. Any questions, folks? Any questions on what a hemoglobin A1C is? Any questions on anything that we talked about? Hello, sir. What are the diabetic A1C severe symptoms? Well, we won't say it like that. You say, well, hello, sir. What are the diabetic A1C severe symptoms? We'll say it like this. What are the severe symptoms of having high of insulin resistance? Well, the severe symptoms of insulin resistance are you get prediabetes, you get type 2 diabetes, high blood sugar all the time. Some people get erectile dysfunction. Some people get PCOS. Some people get high blood pressure. Some people get really, really tired. Some people get really, really hungry. Some people get sugar cravings. Some people have constant urination. Some people have blurred vision. Some people have skin tags. Some people have dark spots under their neck. Some people have gout. You know what I'm saying? I can keep on going. These are the effects of insulin resistance. You know what I mean? These are the effects of insulin resistance. Hello, sir. Yep, there you go. Will I stop falling asleep after eating? Not if you don't fix the insulin resistance, you won't. Not if you don't fix that, you don't. Because if you were here for insulin resistance, we talked earlier about why you're always sleepy. Why you always get sleepy after a meal. Why you always get tired after a meal. Why you always get hungry after a meal. It's because you're insulin resistant. You fix the insulin resistance, you fix the tiredness. You wake up and you're just like, oh, instead of that 3 p.m. crash, you get that 3 p.m. energy surge. You're like, yo, I didn't even take a Red Bull. Now it's 3 p.m. and you at the office dancing, break dancing and all kinds of stuff. And your coworkers are like, yo, dude, what are you doing? You normally be sleeping after lunch. You join this 14-day challenge, you're going to be up after lunch. They're going to be, I'm telling you, you're going to be up. Yeah, preach. Hey, thank you for saying that. Danny Knight. Chill. A1C in June was 11.1. Now it is a 5.6. Letitia. Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Letitia. But that's crazy. How did you do that? That's a better question. How the hell did you do that? You know what I mean? You feel me? How did you do that? I want to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. Yes, thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. Any questions on what your future is going to look like in the next just 2 weeks? It's 2 weeks. The reason that it's 2 weeks is because I want to get you a quick win. I don't want to drag this thing out. I don't want to drag this thing out into like months, right? Is it gonna? I told you it takes 3 months to reverse. It takes at least 3 months. Here it is, A1C. To see the overall picture for your blood, for all of your blood cells to turn over, it takes 3 months. At least 3 months. At least 3. But in 14 days, every day you're getting new hemoglobin. Every single day, you're getting new hemoglobin. It takes 90 days. Keep in mind, it takes 3 months, 90 days for them all to turn over. All of them. But every day you're getting new ones. So in 14 days, you hang out with me for 14 days. We clean up your eating because that's what it is. You clean up your eating in this 14-day challenge. What are we eating? Real, whole, unprocessed foods, vegetables, nuts and seeds, legumes, aka beans, leaner sources of protein, chicken, turkey, steak, eggs, fish, tofu, tempeh. We clean up what you're eating every day for 14 days straight. And at the end of the 14 days, day 15, when you check, you're going to have a lower A1C. When your blood sugar goes down, the percentage of sugar goes down because it's part of the overall picture. So you've got 14 days of the good stuff, 14 days of the good stuff, 75 days of the bad stuff. So what's going to happen? Your average is going to go down. You get it. When you do the average after 14 days, it's going to go down. And somebody just joined the 14-day challenge. Shout out to you. Shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Check your email, check your text messages. All right, it should be there. I sent you a text already. I've been up here talking. I already sent you a text. Crazy work, right? Go log in. Reset your password. Log in. Create your password. Get to work. But congratulations to you. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Following, I'll check out your channel. Have a good day, sir. Not a real account. Ha ha ha. Shout out to you. Yes. Plants are proven methods. Stop the fat. It blocks ability to process sugar. Plants are great. Yes. We love the plants, the fruits, the vegetables, the nuts and seeds, the grains, the legumes. These are all plants. Yes. Yeah, folks. All right, so this is making sense to y'all, folks. This is making sense. All right, that's making sense. So let's go on to something else. What y'all want to talk about now? Since y'all know what hemoglobin A1C is, you guys know what insulin resistance is. What do y'all want to talk about? What to eat on your plate, huh? Is that what y'all want to talk about, folks? What to eat? Is that what y'all want to talk about? Who wants to talk about the weight loss? So we can talk about what to eat. We can do the clean eating. Like, what is clean eating? We can talk about that because that is what you're going to have to master. You're going to have to master the clean eating. Put clean eating in the chat, folks, if y'all ready to know about what kind of eating do you have to do to start reversing type 2 diabetes. You can also download the guide, the ultimate veggie guide. Whew, absolutely free, folks. Absolutely free. It's linked in my bio, the ultimate veggie guide. Don't miss out on it. You can take it with you to the store, but like, yo, what did Kelley say? What are those veggies? Because we can ready to name the veggies right now, but I don't remember them. But he gave me this ultimate veggie guide. And I know it, I remember them now. I see them right here on my phone. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Clean eating, fiber first. Yeah, clean. Okay, we're going to get into that. Fiber first, all of that stuff. Clean eating. Put clean eating in the chat, folks, if y'all ready to get into it. Okay, here it is. This is called the Clean Eating plate. Been a while since we did the clean eating plate, but we're getting ready to get into it. We're going to do the clean eating plate, folks. Here it is. Folks, who hates counting calories? When it comes to weighing your food, counting calories, and doing all that stuff, man, who hates doing that? Put a me in the chat if you hate counting all the calories. You know what I mean? When they say you got to lose some weight, but the only way you're going to lose this weight, you have to count these calories, bruh. Who hates doing it? Who hates doing all the counting, like the calories? Because I know that I did, folks. I know that I hated counting the calories. What if there were another way? And there is another way, folks, and it's called the clean eating plate. Anybody hate it? Okay, me. There it is. This is called the clean eating plate. It's called the 50-25-25 rule, folks. 50-25-25. Let me see. Let me fix my camera over here. The 50-25-25 rule. 50. This is your plate, right? So instead of doing all that calorie counting and all that stuff, we're going to switch it up. It's called the 50-25-25 rule. 50%, check this out, 50% non-starchy veggies. Fill your plate with 50% non-starchy veggies. I'm going to name out the veggies, right? Here we go. Onions, bell peppers, mushrooms, broccoli, cucumber, asparagus, arugula, kale, bell peppers, all kinds of stuff. Carrots, these are all non-starchy veggies, folks. Fill your plate with 50% non-starchy veggies. Okay. What is the next thing? Fats or protein. What do you fill your plate with next? Protein and fats. So 50% veggies, non-starchy veggies, those ones that I named out, the arugulas, the kales, the spinaches, and all of that. Then we're going to switch over here to the protein. Okay, well, what kind of protein are we talking, folks? Well, we're talking leaner sources of protein. So whether that be chicken, whether that be steak, whether that be eggs, whether that be fish, whether it be like things like salmon, whether that be tofu, tempeh, turkey, like whatever it is that you prefer. I don't tell people what to eat anymore. Like whatever they prefer is whatever they prefer. But here's what I recommend. I recommend you stay away from the processed meats. Ooh, processed meats. Those things like sausages, okay, bacon, okay, that's a processed meat. Even turkey bacon, folks, is a processed meat. Pepperonis, keto. If you do keto, if it works for you, great. But I don't recommend keto because I don't believe in restricting the carbohydrates. It's how you eat the carbohydrates, which we're going to talk about, the percent. So those are and for my Louisiana folks, boudin. Folks, Louisiana, woo, you get some great boudin over there, but folks, boudin is not, that's going to go in the processed meat side. You don't want to process meat. All right, fats. Healthy fats, avocados, nuts and seeds, things like almonds, right? But there are only 3 approved oils. Here's some of the oils. There's olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. If it ain't avocado, if it ain't coconut, if it ain't olive, put it back on the shelf. Put it back on the shelf, folks. Those are the oils, healthy fats. Chia seeds, these are healthy fats. Things that are not healthy fats are things like dairy, folks. Believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, dairy is not a healthy fat. Yeah, it's a fat, but it ain't healthy because dairy is scary. It's scary, folks. You ever seen the movies? The woo! That's how scary dairy is. So, folks, don't eat dairy. Don't cheese. Those are not healthy fats, folks. Yogurt? No. Okay, here we go. So we did non-starchy veggies, we did proteins, we did fats. Here's the other 25%. You can go carbs, and I'm going to put fruits over here as well. And then I'm going to put a down arrow. down arrow. See the down arrow? That's representing that there's a rule. There's a rule to the game. You do 50%, 25 carbs. What kind of carbs? Well, whatever kind of carbs that you want. So whether that be rice, whether it be pasta, like I said, that's why I don't go by the keto thing. Whether it be rice, whether it be pasta, whether it be quinoa, whether it be prefer you dial back on the pasta. If it's pasta, prefers things like a chickpea pasta or lentil pasta, right? But we're going to talk about the order of the food too. But things like potatoes, what kind of potatoes? Red potatoes, red potatoes, purple potatoes, yellow potatoes, even white potatoes, folks. It's about how you eat these potatoes is the most important thing. Not necessarily, potatoes are great. Yes, they raise your blood sugar, but how much do they raise your blood sugar will depend on how you eat them. What are you pairing them with? So those are the carbs. Fruits, you can do the fruits as well. What kind of fruits? Any kind of fruit that you want, as long as you're obeying the rule. This is the rule for fruit. Preferably you do lower glycemic index fruit, things like berries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, strawberries, those kind of berries. But you can do, you can do a banana, a watermelon, mangoes, but truly in moderation. And then truly, you have to eat it as a dessert. You cannot eat watermelon on an empty stomach. You cannot eat a mango on an empty stomach. You cannot eat a banana on an empty stomach. You cannot drink grapes or grape juice, as a matter of fact. You can't eat grapes on an empty stomach. Or what's the other one? Pineapples. You can't eat pineapples on an empty stomach, folks. What about cottage cheese? Yes, cottage cheese is going to be over here. That is not a healthy fat. No, that is cheese. That is whole grain is good, not necessarily. What are you talking about? Whole grains? Yes. Are you talking about whole grain bread? No. Whole grain? Yes. Whole grain bread? No. Whole grain pasta? No, that's trash. Right? When they start processing the whole grains, as long as they're in their whole intact form, yes. But when they start processing, it says these noodles are whole grain. Man, that's a bunch of bull baloney. Oh, no low-fat yogurt, Greek yogurt. Yeah, no dairy is scary, folks. You don't want it. Causes inflammation, causes mucus buildup, causes it's a festering ground for disease. Right? Disease it loves dairy. IGF-1, insulin-like growth factor number 1, it loves it. Because dairy is not for you. That's why dairy is scary. You want to know what dairy can do? Dairy is, it's scary, folks. I love cheese. Everybody does. Everybody loves cheese. These are two things that people tell me that they're not going to give up. Here's what people tell me. This is crazy. This is how much of a stranglehold that dairy and cheese has on people. I'm going to tell you, check this out. Someone told me once that there's two things that they're not going to give up, and they don't care how bad their health is. They don't care how bad the insulin resistance is. They don't care how bad their health is. Two things that they're not going to give up, these two foods, and here they are. Bacon and cheese. Number 1 is cheese. Number 2 is bacon. They'll give up the cheese. They'll give up the bacon before they give up the cheese. That's what they say. They don't care how bad their health is. They don't care if they're knocking on heaven's door. Knocking on heaven's door, they tell them they don't care. They ain't giving up their bacon, they ain't giving up their cheese. What did I say earlier? But here's the thing. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You feel what I'm saying? That's my man Albert King said that in a blues song. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You feel me? I had already restricted to Parmesan tea and feta. I had already restricted to Parmesan and feta. Wow. Okay. Bacon is easy to give up. Yeah, that's what they tell me. They'll tell me they'll give up the bacon before they give up their cheese. They don't care how bad their health is. Knocking on heaven's door. They don't care. Thank you. That's how addicted to the cheese that they are. It's a lot of things that are. This is addictive as it's like cocaine, folks. That's how cheese is. You know what I'm saying? It's that addictive. Sugar is the same way. Detoxing and killing parasites. Yep. Okay, I'll try that. I was told that multigrain bread is good for me to eat. Here's the kind of bread that you want to eat. If you want to eat bread, prefer you eat a seeded bread, things like Ezekiel bread. That would be a much better option. Prefer you not do the bread at all, but if you do the bread, you're going to do the Ezekiel bread, right? Ezekiel bread. I give up the cheese. I hate cheese. It makes my head hurt. Yeah. It makes a whole hell of a lot of stuff hurt. It causes inflammation everywhere. Your head, you're everywhere, right? Everywhere. I give up the cheese. I hate cheese. Yeah. Now is cheese another story? Moderation. Well, it depends on moderation, right? People will literally take that word moderation. That doesn't, what does that mean though? You got to put a meaning on moderation. If we're talking 10% of the time, if you want to do some cheese 10% of the time, okay. Prefer you not do it at all, but if you do, make it no more than 10%. No more than 10% of the time are you doing cheese. So moderation, you got to put a number on it, because moderation could be like, oh, I'm gonna eat, instead of eating cheese 5 days out of the week, I'm gonna eat it 3.5 days out of the week. You know what I'm saying? 3.5 days, maybe. I'm trying to give up cheese. Yep, you're absolutely right. Shout out to you, Rosa. Oh, that's what I get. Yeah. What's the 14-day challenge? The 14-day challenge is for my folks who are ready for serious change. It's only for a select few. It's only for a select few of folks. It's for everybody, but it's not for everybody. It's for the select few. The 10% of the people who actually do what it takes to get what it is that they say that they want. For you to reverse type 2 diabetes and start, you got to start somewhere. This is where you start. Are you going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days? No, you're not going to do that in 14 days, but you're going to put that mug on notice. You're going to put type 2 diabetes on notice. In 2026, I am coming for you. And there's nothing that you can do about it. Insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes. There's nothing, erectile dysfunction. I'm going to get my, I'm going to get my excitement back. If you got erectile dysfunction, you want to get your excitement back. You know what I'm talking about, right? 14-day challenge is where it starts. You got to start somewhere. I will put the 14-day challenge up against anything. It is a nutrition challenge. It's 14 days. It is a nutrition challenge designed to get you off of that blood sugar roller coaster in 14 days. It's real people getting real results in 14 days. It's linked in my bio. You click here, you click on my picture again. There's a lot of freebies on my page. The quiz is free. The masterclass is free. The ultimate veggie guide, that's free. It's the ultimate veggie guide. Go get it. That's all free stuff. But the challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for, because it's real people just like you getting real results in 14 days. There's people who have already joined the challenge this morning. All right, people already joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge this morning. So shout out to them. Their life is never going to be the same. You want to know why? It's because they're part of that 10%. It's only 10% of the people who are going to take the action. It's only 10% of the people who are going to learn to love what it takes to get what they want. Only 10% of the people. Learn to love what it takes to get what you want. And to get what it is that you want, you're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone. That's why I'm going to take you in that 14-day challenge. But you're going to like it at the end of 14 days. Use that discount code, PROGRESS, join the challenge for 20% off, $79 to join that challenge. That's the challenge, folks. For my folks who are ready for change. If you ain't ready for change, it's not gonna be for you. I'm sorry. You're gonna get in there, you're gonna be like, oh hell no, man, I wasn't ready for I was just playing, folks. I wasn't ready to defeat insulin resistance this year. I was just playing, folks. I didn't really want to bring my A1C down. What I really would prefer to do is go chill out on the couch and watch some Netflix. That's what I really want to do. I don't really want to reverse type 2 diabetes. Because a lot of people say that they're ready to reverse type 2 diabetes, but they don't mean that. You know what I'm saying? They don't mean it. They don't mean it. You're like, well, what do you mean they don't mean it? Because they're not going to do what it takes to get what they want. They got to learn to love what it takes to get what they want. And what does it take to get what you want? Getting outside of your comfort zone. That's what it's going to take. And doing something different. That's what it's going to take. Most people, 9 in 10 people ain't going to get outside of their comfort zone. 9 in 10 people. Crazy. 10% of the people will. Crazy facts, right? These are crazy facts. I reverse my insulin resistance by intermittent fasting every day for months. Shout out to you, Carla. What about sardines? You can do sardines, protein, right? That's gonna go on the protein side. Here we go. But I thought cheese came from cow, which is natural. Oh, Paula, wow. Yeah. Well, You thought cheese was natural? I'll address that. I'm going to answer some questions. I'm going to come back to you, Paola. Paola, I'm going to come back to you. Don't worry. Let me see the rest of the questions. Then I'm going to come back to that one about cheese being natural. Once in a blue moon. Blue moon. Okay. I gave up almost my cheese and I don't eat it like I used to. Great. What about whole wealth bread? No, doctor said the uric acid high. Don't know what it is. And I'm pre-diabetic. That it means to eat. Yeah, that's another form. Insulin resistance. That's all it is. Insulin, what it is to eat right here. We're talking about the clean eating plate right here. People asking me about dairy. What's our non-starchy veggies? I'm gonna name some. Don't worry, Paolo. I'm coming back to you. I'm gonna name some of these veggies: arugula, kale, spinach, cauliflower, all of that stuff. Broccoli, asparagus. Now, if you want a list of these non-starchy veggies, download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's linked in my bio, folks. Bella, download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's absolutely free. You know what I mean? It's just free. It's my gift to you for coming on my live. Is to download the Ultimate Veggie Guide. You know what I'm saying? How do I get in the challenge? The same way where you get the Ultimate Veggie Guide, it's in the same place. It's in the same place. But folks, cheese is not for human beings. It's for a baby cow. There's nothing natural about a baby cow having milk for a baby. It's species specific. Milk is very, very species specific. It's for a baby cow. It's to take a 65-pound cow when it's born, 65 pounds, and to make it grow into 400 pounds quickly. That's why it has a different macronutrient profile. So why it has way more protein than human milk. That's why it has a way more protein than us. So the protein is different, the carbohydrates are different, and the fat is different because of how quickly a cow grows. Because once the cow is grown, it makes the cow grow quickly. So when you drink it as a human, it makes you grow quickly, right? Like, oh, got to make you ever notice why the kids are so big nowadays? Like, yeah, it's because that milk signal is telling them to grow, fat cells, grow. That's why the kids today, this generation kids are like crazy, big. And all the ultra processed foods on top of it. Them together, ultra processed foods and dairy, whoo, you form Voltron. You see what I'm saying? So there's nothing natural. There's no mammal on the planet. Human beings are the only mammal on the planet who does crazy stuff. Like once we're weaned off of milk, we go back to it. Human beings are the only one that do that crazy stuff. There's no other mammals. There's no dog. There's no sheep. There's no cats. Only way cats drink milk is because we give it to them. That's the only way cats drink milk, because we give it to them. A cow's milk at that, for a totally different species. You feel what I'm saying? So that's why you get all this inflammation. That's why you get all this mucus. That's why you get all this acne. That's why you get all this stuff. Right? That's why you get all this stuff. All these arthritis and inflammation. Damn, I can't move. Gout. I got gout. You know what I'm saying? Uric acid. Dairy. Scary stuff. It's not designed for human. It's not designed for you. That's why. Here it is. Here's what the challenge is, folks. That's my thoughts on dairy. So if you click here and then you click on my picture again, here it is right here. 14-day challenge right here. See that link that I pressed? There's the Ultimate Veggie Guide right here. Here is the 14-day challenge. The Ultimate Veggie Guide is absolutely free. Then there's a PDF right here. It's all absolutely free stuff, folks. But this one right here is the only one that I got to charge you for, folks, because it's real people just like you, folks, getting real results in this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Real people just like you getting real results in 14 days. So if you're ready to take control of your blood sugar, if that is you, this 14-day challenge is calling your name. It's normally $99 to join that challenge, but if you use the discount code PROGRESS, it's $79 to join that challenge. Well, we're going to clean this whole thing up, right? We're going to clean this whole thing up right here. We're going to put it into insulin resistance, starting right here, right? We're putting it into insulin resistance. In 2026, where does it start? I will put this challenge up against glipizide. You put my 14-day challenge up against on glipizide, we're gonna win. You put this 14-day challenge up against glipizide, we're going to win. You put it up against metformin, we're going to win. You put it up against your. Why do I boldly say this? You're like, why are you boldly saying this on TikTok today across the world for people to hear that? I will put this up against anything. I will bet the whole house on black. You know what I'm saying? You ever watch Passenger 57 with Wesley Snipes? And what does he say in the movie? Always bet on black. You remember that scene from the movie? Shout out to my guy Wesley Snipes. But anyhow, it's 14-day challenge. I'm gonna bet on black. We're gonna win against glipizide. You put it up in 14 days. You take glipizide for 14 days. I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you to get on your medication. Get off your medication. But you take metformin for 14 days. You do a 14-day challenge for 14 days. Somebody else does it for 14 days. And we do a comparison. We do a comparison. And at the end of those 14 days, we're going to bury all of them. You put it up against the GLP-1, you put it up against Mounjaro, you put it up, because why do I say that? It's because there's been people who have joined this challenge have been taken off of their Mounjaros, off of their GLP-1s after the 14-day challenge. That's why I say that. That's why I can confidently say that. And it's been over 400 people who have joined this challenge. That's why I can confidently say that. Because I had diabetes, I wanted to get rid of it, and I was determined to get rid of it. If you are determined to get rid of it, you join this challenge. If you're determined to get rid of it, you join this 14-day challenge. But if you're not, you got a choice. I had to make a choice right there, whether I was going to keep diabetes, or was it going to continue to ruin my life and eventually take my life, or was I going to change? Those were the only options. Did it take my life, or was I going to change? Right? That's what I had to do. That's what the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is about. Appreciate the follow. If you want to join that challenge, use that discount code PROGRESS. Do you take your medication while on the 14-day challenge? Listen, I'm not a doctor. I cannot tell you to get on your medicine or get off your medicine. I can't tell you to do that. That's between you and your doctor. You know what I mean? Like, we got HIPAA laws. You know what I mean? Like the conversation between you and your doctor is private stuff. And shout out to you for joining that challenge. Shout out, congratulations, by the way. Congratulations for joining that challenge, because at the end of those 14 days, you're not going to recognize yourself. So check your text message. Send you a text message. I just sent you a text message. I went around the corner right here. Boom. I sent you a text message. You already got it, right? Then you should have a couple of emails as well. So if you're in the United States, you're going to get a text message. If you're in another country, you're going to get an email. So shout out to you for joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Reset your password, log in, get to freaking work. Congratulations. You're part of the fantastic few. You're part of the fantastic few that says, I'm going to learn to love what it takes to actually get what I want. You're part of the fantastic few. So shout out to you. Gluten pasta, good or bad? Well, with the pasta, we're going to talk about the percent. We'll talk about it's a percent, right? We'll talk about that. The 25%. It's the order in which you eat your food. So it's not, so you can do, whether you do gluten-free or not, whichever works for you, right? If you can handle gluten, great. If not, then go gluten-free. It's totally up to you. How do I join? I'm going to answer all those questions. I eat all the sugars and all the starch because I will always resist the insulin. What? You eat all the sugars and all the starch because I will always resist the insulin. What do you mean? You will always resist the insulin. You'll always be insulin resistant? If you keep that attitude, you will. I don't know what you're saying, but if you continue to eat whatever you want, all the sugar and all of the starches and everything that you want, yes, you are going to get insulin resistance. You're going to keep it as a consolation prize. How much is the book? It's not a book, right? It's not a book. It's all digital. It's digital. It's videos on me and me telling you what it's. Look, it's not a book. Here it is. Here's what you log in. Once you log in, you're going to come here, right? Watch this. You see that? Once you log in, boom, you're going to go there. There's what you're going to get right here, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. You click it, you go start learning. Or you can click on the syllabus, right? So it's all the stuff's there. It tells you what your next steps. Hey, your next steps are this. It's a lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. All you got to do is show up and do the work. I'm telling you what to do on each of the videos, giving you the motivation. I'm telling you what your next steps are. You can't make a mistake. You just show up and you do the work. It's a blueprint. You just show up, you do the work. That's it. Show up, do the work, do it again the next day for 14 days. Day 15, you won't recognize yourself. How much is the book? It's not a book, but it's a digital product, and it's $79 if you use the discount code. Discount code is Progress. Progress is the discount code for you to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Can you use stevia in the raw? Yes, stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the three. Stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Yes, it's peanut butter and toasted bread and it's peanut butter and roasted bread and black tea without sugar. Good in the mornings. Let me think about that. Peanut butter and toasted bread. Sorry, no toasted bread. No. We stay away from the bread in the morning. So on that one. Black tea without the sugar. Okay, you can do that. Yeah, okay, that's good. What natural teas help? You can do some herbal teas, right? Herbal teas are great. Or you can make your own tea. You can make your tea like with apple cider vinegar. You can make an apple cider vinegar tea. Apple cider vinegar, a little bit of apple cider, a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with some cinnamon. Throw you like some cinnamon in there, or however much cinnamon that you want. Maybe squeeze a little lemon, a little lime in there. Throw it in the microwave, heat it up. Bing, bing. Stir it up. Boom. Drink that. That's great. Apple cider vinegar, cinnamon, water, hot water. Put it in the lemon. Drink it. Great tea. For blood sugar. I can't live without coffee in the morning with some stevia in the raw and a little bit of half. If you hang out with me, Elena, I'll teach you how to get off of that coffee. I'll teach you how to get a natural coffee, right? Not that you can't have the coffee, it's the trash that you put in the coffee. You want to know what's better than coffee? Never wake up. Here's a cardinal sin. Never wake up in the morning, folks. As soon as you crawl up out of bed, 10 seconds after you get out of bed, you've seen that guy he's on here. He's just like, I just woke up 10 seconds ago and he's already eaten 10 seconds ago. Never wake up 10 seconds and then drink some coffee. Here's what you do instead. You go out into the sun first. You go out into the sun for at least 5 or 10 minutes. 5 to 10 minutes. You stay out in the sun. You let those rays hit your eyes. Stay out in the sun like, I could be out there stretching. I used to go out in the sun to do my morning stretches. Before I go live, I go out and do my morning stretches. That light's going to hit your eyes, going to cause your cortisol to rise. After that, wait 30 minutes. Wait 60 to 90 minutes after that, about an hour to an hour and a half. Then you have your coffee. After you go in the sun, wait about an hour to an hour and a half. Then have your coffee. The more you do that every day, I guarantee you, you're going to be like, whoa, I'm not really having as much coffee as I used to have, right? Why? Because you gave your body the natural energy first, which it's supposed to have. See, folks, you hang out with me, I got you. I'm going to teach you a whole bunch of stuff of how nature really works, the holistic way, because the food is the medicine and the medicine is the food. Your lifestyle is the medicine. Lifestyle first, medication second. We can't fix it with the diet and lifestyle first. Okay, then we can talk about the meds. You know what I mean? I'm not against medication. You ever heard that song? I'm not against rap. I'm not against rappers. But I am against those thugs. You know? Bone Thugs and Harmony. You guys don't know anything about Bone Thugs and Harmony. But anyhow, that's how it goes. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Here's the order in which you eat your food. People are asking, what's the order in which I eat my food? Here's the order in which you eat your food. Here it is. Number 1, veggies. Get yourself number 1 thing you can do, you can get yourself one of these plates. You can get yourself one of these. It was on my playlist, yeah. I know it was. You grew up in the same era as I did. I know it's on your playlist. Not against rap, not against rappers, but we are against those thugs. 1, 2, 3. Okay. How do you eat? Number 1, veggies. What do we say? Non-starchy veggies. I said go grab your the ultimate veggie guide. Download the ultimate veggie guide. Number 1, we eat that first. Second, what do we eat on the plate? Second, we eat our proteins and our fats. We eat that second, folks. The proteins and the fats. We eat that second. See that? Next, we eat our carbohydrates. We eat that last. The carbohydrates and our fruit. Remember that? Carbohydrates and fruit, we eat that last. You want to think of, when you think of fruit, you think of dessert. So you see what I did here, folks? It's called the clean eating plate. And it just goes like this. Look. 1, and it just keeps on going. 2, and then it just keeps on going around and around and around. Let's talk about another area. Beans. Beans. Beans are going to be the superfood. Like, where do beans go on the plate then? Well, beans are your superfood, right? So beans can go anywhere. You can put beans with anything because these are things that are resistant starch. The only thing that you really don't want to put the beans with is the rice. Like the red beans and rice. You don't want to do the red beans and the rice. You don't want to go to Popeyes and get red beans and rice. I love beans of all kinds. Yes, beans are great. Just don't eat them with the rice and the pasta. If we're talking about for folks with insulin resistance. Folks, if you've got insulin resistance, don't eat the rice and the beans together. Don't eat the rice and the potatoes together. If you're metabolically flexible, if you don't have type 2 diabetes anymore, insulin resistance, okay, knock yourself silly. But in the meantime, try not to eat the beans and the carbs together. But the beans are great. Black beans, red beans, navy beans, cannellini beans, garbanzo beans. Man, these things are going to be great for my folks who have type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. Great for you folks. Beans, all kinds of beans. Now, I told you I got the ultimate, we got the ultimate veggie guide and the bean cheat sheet. That's coming soon. The bean cheat sheet, putting together all the beans that you can eat. It's a bean cheat sheet. You got the ultimate veggie. If you haven't gotten the ultimate veggie guide, download it, right? But the bean cheat sheet, whoo, it's on the way. What beans should I be eating? And here it is, folks. You just go around in a circle. I said don't eat the beans and rice together. Here's another rule. Here's another rule when it comes to the carbs. Here's another rule when it comes to the carbs. As long as you don't go above the 25%, you can have your carbs. Whatever kind of carb. And as long as you're eating the carbs third on the plate, you can have your carbs. You can even switch the whole thing up. Let's just say one day you want more protein because you're hitting the gym. You're like, yo, I want more protein. Check it out. You can flip your plate and you can put the protein over there. You know what I mean? Put the protein right there. And then you can bring your non-starchy veggies down 50%, to 25%. And then you can do your carbs over here, 25%. You can go down on the carbs, but you can't go up. You can change the percentages over here, but you can't change the percentages over on the, you can go down, but you can't go up. That's the only rule of the game, folks. And don't eat the beans and rice together. You see that? It's kind of like some tricky rules of the game over here. But once you master this 50, 25, 25 rule, man, you don't have to worry about counting the carbs. You don't have to worry about doing any of that foolishness. Because don't nobody, I'm going to use incorrect English. Don't nobody want to count carbs all day long, do you? Nobody does. You get yourself a clean eating plate. You ain't worry about that. You ain't worry about that. I love beans of all kinds. Shout out to you. What about brown rice and quinoa? Yeah, brown rice, quinoa, right? Brown rice, quinoa. Those are the carbs. Those are whole unprocessed. Yeah, exactly. Whole in the whole intact form. So yes, quinoa, yes. What about collard greens? That's going to be your non-starchy veggies. Download the ultimate veggie guide. You see all the, there's more veggies. I don't even know if I put collard greens on there. There's so many, I put greens on there. But yeah, download the ultimate veggie guide. Link in my bio. A lot of goodies on there. I'm Latin. I mix whole grain rice along with the beans. If you do not have insulin resistance, great. You can do that. And as long as you're not eating the whole grain rice with the bean and the beans, that's your lunch by itself, no. If you would have just said you're eating the beans by themselves, I would have said, okay, I like that. I like that, eating the beans by themselves. Maybe add a little avocado on the side, but yeah. Depends on how you're eating it. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Any questions on the clean eating plate, folks? On the 50-25-25 rule, folks. 50-25-25. This is folks. You ain't got to worry about counting no calories. You know what I mean? Where's the ultimate veggie? Whoa, you got it mixed up. You said the ultimate veggie challenge? No. That's the ultimate. Those are two different things. The ultimate veggie guide. The ultimate veggie guide and the 14-day challenge are two different things, but I'm going to show you where they are. Here it is. So if you click here, and then you click on my picture again. Let me see. Let me show you. You click there. You click on it's linked in my bio. Here it is right here. See that? 14-day challenge. You click that link. See that link that said Linktree? Here's the ultimate veggie guide right there. There it is. The ultimate veggie guide. You're quite welcome. But then for my folks who are ready for serious change, you say, I'm ready for serious change. The ultimate veggie guide, that's all good, but I want to take it to the next level. I'm serious about this thing, man, in 2026. If you're serious about this thing in 2026, then this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge is calling your name. If you are serious about making these changes in 2026, because that's what it's going to take, folks. It's going to have to take you getting outside of your comfort zone. You're going to have to confront this thing. Type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance. You're going to have to confront it. Because you can't change what you confuse to confront. You can't change what you refuse to confront. You ain't going to be able to reverse type 2 diabetes if you refuse to confront it. You feel what I'm saying? This 14-day challenge is where we start to confront it. If you are ready for change, this 14-day challenge is calling for you. It's calling for you. This is the altar call. You join that 14-day challenge. You use that discount code PROGRESS. We're getting ready to get out of here. And we were going to get out of here, but more folks came in and started asking some questions. We like it when you ask the questions. So ask the questions, folks. Where can I get that plate? Here it is. Right here, my showcase, TikTok showcase. Right it is. Right here, where it is. Boom. Right there. There it is. This is all the stuff's there. See them? Boom. There they are right there. There they are. A couple of them right there. Ooh, they went up on the prices a little bit. Shout out. There they are right there, though. It's my TikTok showcase. But here we go, folks. What is an example of a fat in the protein percentage? An example of a fat would be an avocado. And another example would be the 3 approved oils. So whether it be avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil, those are the 3 oils. If it ain't any of those 3 oils, throw it out. You know what I mean? Peanut oil, throw it out. Grapeseed oil, throw it out. What else we got? We got chia seeds. That's another good one. We got almonds. We got pistachios. These are healthy fats, right? Cashews. These are healthy fats. Brazil nuts. These are healthy. Ooh, Brazil nuts are. Woo. Yeah. So those are some examples of healthy fats. What's not an example of a healthy fat is dairy. Dairy is not an example of a healthy fat, folks, because dairy is designed specifically to make a baby cow grow into a 65-pound baby. From a 65-pound baby when it's born to a 400-pound behemoth. You know what I mean? Quickly. That's what dairy is for. Your milk, human milk, one that you're designed for, you're designed to have that. It's designed to make you grow slowly. It's designed to make your brain grow. Human milk is, our growth is all about the development of our brain. Human beings, our brain, that's it. That's what needs to develop the most. A cow brain doesn't need to develop. Its brain doesn't need to develop right there. All the cow needs to do is just be a cow. You know what I mean? All the cow knows is to be a cow. All the horse knows is to be a cow. All the dog knows is to be a dog. All the cat knows is to be a cat. But human beings, we can freaking build massive skyscrapers, bridges. Hell, we can hurl a freaking rocket into space. We can defy gravity. Humans. That's why our milk is totally different than that of a cow, that of a rat, that of a chimpanzee, right? That's why. Yeah, where can I find that plate? I think it's very, very useful. It's in my TikTok showcase. That's where it is. Get one out of my showcase. You mean to tell me I can't bite my baked or grilled chicken and fork and have a fork of full greens at once? Let's see, baked chicken. You can do your baked chicken. All right, cool. Baked or grilled chicken. Okay, all right. Same thing wrong with that and full of greens. Yeah, you can do that. You can do that all at once. Here's the thing, though. The order of the food just slows down the process. Slows down the process. Right? So you want to go veggies first. You don't have to do this, but to maximize your blood sugar spike, not spike so much, veggies first, proteins and fats second, carbohydrates third. Yeah. I don't eat meat. Salad with kidneys, beans, salad with kidney beans, avocado slice for lunch. Is WN your guide right? Is WN your guide right? What do you mean is WN my guide right? But that sounds like a great lunch though. Your kidney beans, avocado, yes, yeah, beautiful. That's very, very blood sugar friendly lunch. Yes. I don't like white meat. Now, what do I eat? Well, you gotta whatever you want. So whether it be do the dark meat. So so whether it be turkey, whether it be steaks, you know what I mean, whether it be whatever, venison, like whatever you do, fish, whatever you do. You know what I mean? You don't have to eat white meat. It's totally up to you. Hello with, okay, all right, cool. Any questions, folks? Any questions? Because we're getting ready to get out of here. We might be back later tonight. But here's the thing, folks. It's for my folks who are ready for serious change. Unless y'all got any questions. Y'all got any questions? We get up out of here unless y'all got any questions. Because you've been on here for a little while. So if y'all don't got any questions, we get up out of here. But as soon as y'all start with the questions back, we stay on. So it totally depends. When it gets quiet, whoa, I go do other things. You know what I'm saying? What if exercise in the morning, what can the first thing I eat involves carbs for energy? If I exercise in the morning, can the first thing I eat involve carbs for energy? I would prefer you not. Are you insulin resistant? If you have insulin resistance, prefer you not do that. Prefer you not have the carbs in the morning at all, period. Wait till later. Wait till like mid-afternoon. Mid-afternoon, if you want to have your carbs, that's the best time for anyone to have their carbohydrates. Is mid-afternoon. When the sun is at its peak, mid-afternoon, around that time, when the sun is at its peak, that is when you will eat your carbohydrates. Because that's when you should be the most alive. That's when your body should be using like the most energy because it's the middle part of the day. And you should be up moving, like you should be at full speed by then. So you can have some carbohydrates then. But you don't want to have the carbohydrates and then just sit down and sit on your ass. You know what I mean? You don't want to do that. You want to get up and move. So don't have it in the first thing in the morning. It's going to spike your blood sugar, then it's going to crash. You don't want to do that. So no carbs in the morning. No section 3 in the morning. Stay away from section 3 in the morning, folks. How do I join? You click that link, Elena. You click right here. You click on my picture again. Can we start according to our own schedule? Yes, you start the challenge according to your own schedule. It is a self-paced challenge. Yes, you can. So if you say if you get the challenge and you don't start until next week or the week after that, you got the challenge. You go in, you reset your password, and you get logged in. So if you click and then you join the challenge, and then so if you click here and then you click on my picture again, it's gonna take you right here. Click right there. See that? The challenge, there's the master class, or not the master class, the ultimate veggie guides there. The master class, you can book a call. There's a lot of stuff you can do on here. But then the 14-day challenge is right here. Here it is. The 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is for our folks who are ready for serious change. If insulin resistance has gotten too bad, if your type 2 diabetes has gotten too bad, and you say, I need to change, then this 14-day challenge is for you. Join the challenge. Click right here. It's normally $99. It's only $99 to join that 14-day challenge. But if you use the live discount code, the progress, that's the discount code to join the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge at 20% off, $79, the live discount code, progress. So that's the 14-day challenge, folks. I tell you, I will put this 14-day challenge up, confidently put it up against anything. You give me glipicides, it's gonna lose, right? You give me metformin, metformin's gonna lose. You give me Ozempic, Ozempic's gonna lose. I'm sorry. Like I know Ozempic is like the major mountain, but you know what I mean? You take it, wow, you don't take Ozempic. Like you're really serious about weight loss. Like, you're really serious. No. You serious about it. Because here's the thing about Ozempic. Here's what's gonna happen. All those GLP-1s and all that stuff. People ask me about what's gonna happen. Well, you're gonna lose the fat, but you're also gonna lose the muscle. But when you stop taking that, once you get to a point where you start getting Ozempic face, when you get to the point where you get to Ozempic face, and then you stop taking it, then the weight's gonna come back. Well, why does the weight come back? Well, because you didn't change anything. You didn't change anything. The weight comes back minus the muscle. The muscle doesn't come back. So when the muscle doesn't come back, guess what? That makes you, the less muscle you have, the more insulin resistant you become. Crazy, right? You put this 14-day challenge up against Ozempic, we're going to bury it. I can say that confidently, with 100% confidence, because there's been quite a few folks that have joined the challenge, over 400, but some of those folks have gotten taken off of their medication. What medication? The metformin, the Manjaros, the GLP-1s, all of that stuff. Some other medication that we couldn't even name in 14 days. The doctor took them off. I can't take you off. I'm not a doctor. I can't take you off the medication. I can't do that. I don't have the audacity to do that. I don't have the authority to do that. But I can tell you that the food is the medicine and the medicine is the food. And in 14 days, we're going to prove it to you. We're going to prove it to you that the food is the medicine and the medicine is the food. Because everybody, folks, 95% of people can reverse type 2 diabetes. 95%. Fruits and fiber is CN. I use it first thing in the morning. Great. Writing a new blood test then to join. Great. What happened to your face? You tell me. Same thing that probably happened to yours. What happens to your face? It's Ozempic face. Your face goes like, yeah, it looks like a freaking skeleton. With the Ozempic, this was gonna happen to yours. Not everybody, but a lot of people get Ozempic face. It's when you just look like a freaking skeleton. You look like, you ever watch He-Man? Growing up as a kid, I watched He-Man and Skeletor. You look like Skeletor. That's what happens to your face. You look like Skeletor. I'm on metformin and Ozempic. Yeah. Elena, there's been people who have joined my 14-day challenge, have been taken off of their Ozempic, off of their metformin after 14 days. Again, I cannot take you off the medication. I'm not the doctor. But when you join the challenge and then we change all your damn numbers, it changes all your numbers because you're eating real food. Your blood sugar goes down naturally. Yeah, the doctor sees that and be like, oh yeah, metformin. You got to ask the doctor, like, yo, doc, can I get off of it? You got to ask them because they ain't just going to take you off of it. You got to ask them. It's a real conversation with them. And they'll look at your numbers. And I'm not a doctor. I can't tell you for sure, but that's what happens. It happens a lot. It happens more. Insulin, people have been join the challenge, taken off of their insulin. Had taken insulin for many, many years. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's about choices, folks. You've got a choice. You've got a choice whether you want to take Ozempic or metformin or not, or whether you're willing to do the work that is required. You hang out with me for 14 days. I'm going to show you that's all it takes. 14 days. You lock in for 14 days. That's it. You lock in for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, you come back and we do it again. We're going to test you out. We're going to go to your doctor and get tested, or even look at your numbers every day. See what's happening to them. Guaranteed they're going to be going back to the normal range. That's scary. That is scary. Dairy is scary. That's the main things. Ozempic face. Yeah, it is scary. I took myself off of metformin. My hair growth improved in 3 to 4 months. Yeah. Okay, fantastic. You were right, because without the pills, the government is going down. Yes, the pharmaceutical in America, The pharmaceutical industry is king. It's the number one industry in America, not in the world, but in America. The pharmaceutical industry is king. They're king. But I will confidently tell you right now, confidently tell you, they probably come after me, whatever. I will put this 14-day challenge up against anything, okay? Against anything that they got. And this will become the new king. This will take down the king. Anyone, name them. Name one and I tell you if I'm gonna take it down, okay? Name one. I can confidently tell you that. Not on metformin, I meant Ozempic. Yeah, either way, whatever, which is, it's all the same. Please explain where to get the plate and the challenge again. Thank you. Get off of Ozempic for sure. That stuff is bad. I'm in. I want in on the challenge. She wanted me in on the insulin. I told her no. Can I join the gestational diabetes? Yes. Here's who the challenge is for. I'm going to show you where it is, folks. It is for pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, insulin, any form of insulin resistance, high blood sugar, erectile dysfunction, high blood pressure, because that's all the form of insulin resistance. That's all it is, right? Fatty liver. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it is. So if you suffer from any of those conditions, it means you got too high levels of insulin. That's why you get gestational diabetes. Why do you get gestational diabetes? It's because, well, insulin is more prevalent throughout a pregnancy because a baby needs to grow. And the secondary job of insulin is to make things grow, okay? Insulin makes things grow. It sends out a growth signal. It says, grow, grow. That's what it does. All right, so insulin, that's why, because what has to grow? Well, the baby has to grow, right? The baby has to grow. The umbilical cord has to grow, like breast milk has to grow, right? So that's why you get more insulin. That's why you become a gestational diabetic. But then usually after the baby's born, maybe like years later, you may go back and be like, now I've got full-fledged diabetes. I'm not even pregnant anymore. It's no longer gestational, it's real diabetes. This is who the 14-day challenge is for. So if you click here, and you click on my picture again, here it is. Here's how you join the challenge. Click on this link right here. Click here. You see where it says, well, that's the Ultimate Veggie Guide. It's absolutely free. Ultimate Veggie Guide. All the veggies, a lot of good ones. Not all of them, but it's too many veggies, but it's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of goodies on here, but the 14-day challenge is right here. This one right here. Here's the 14-day challenge. Like I said before, this is only for my folks who are seriously ready. If you are not seriously ready, what can you expect? Well, you can expect for me to take you outside of your comfort zone because that's what it's going to take. For you to get what it is to say that you want, to reverse type 2 diabetes, get off the meds and get off the metformins and the glipizide and the GLP-1s and the Ozempics, and for you to do that, you're going to have to do something different. You're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone like you never did before. But it's just 14 days. You can get outside of your comfort zone for 14 days. Here's the thing. If you cannot get outside of your comfort zone for 14 days, you want to know what that tells me? You ain't got to tell me. You're telling yourself that you don't want it. You know what I mean? It ain't about 14 days. You can do anything for 14 days, hell. There's people who on that show, TV show, Naked and Afraid, they stay naked and afraid for freaking 21 days. And they're out in the woods eating freaking raccoons and stuff. You know what I mean? Trying to catch water moccasins. You can do anything for 14 days. At the end of those 14 days, you're ready to take control of your blood sugar. You show up and you do the work, you're going to get the results. That's it. I know it. So over 400 people have joined this challenge. It's normally $99 to join that challenge. But if you use the discount code PROGRESS, it's 20% off, $79 to join that challenge. Challenge is the only thing that I got to charge you for. Why? Because I want you to take it seriously. This is life-changing stuff. Like, we're not playing around. It's only for a select few people, the fantastic few. The challenge is not for everybody. It's for everybody, but it's not for everybody. If you come in there half-stepping like, yo, nah, like, I'm just putting my toe in the water. Like, I don't really, you come in there with the mentality like, I'm just doing this to do this. I don't really want to reverse this thing because I know there's work required. Nah. You just wasted $79. You just wasted it. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it real with you. You just wasted it. But here's the thing. If you're one of those type of people, the fantastic few, if you're one of those type of people, That 10% of people that I'm talking to, I'm only talking to 10% of people. You know who you are. That says, I will do whatever it takes. I will learn to love what it takes to get what I want. Those 10% of people, this 14-day challenge is for you. It's normally $99. Use the discount code PROGRESS. The reason I got to charge you for it is I want you to take it seriously. $79 to join that challenge. It's the live discount code. A1C is a 121. How is that converted? Well, if it's your A1C is your A1C reading is a 121, what country are you in? That's a better question. Are you using a different metric? Is H related to insulin resistance? IIH. What's IIH? Tell me IIH. I'll stay here, wait until my blood works. Okay, great. Can you reverse it? I'm a walking. You can reverse it. I'm a walking testimony. There it is. Beezy. Beezy 1229 is a walking freaking testimony. Tell us about it, Beezy. What can I drink in the morning instead of coffee? Well, it's not about we talked about coffee earlier. It's not about the coffee itself. It's about what time are you drinking the coffee. You drinking the coffee too early, or like right when you wake up? Go out in the sun first. Wait at least an hour after that, then drink your coffee. And then don't put the bull crap in your coffee. Don't put artificial sweeteners in there. Don't put sugar in there. You want to use a sweetener, use stevia, monk fruit, allulose. Those are the three. Boom, coffee. I can afford Manjaro. Well, if you can afford Manjaro, then if that's what you want to do, then knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Catherine? I'm ready. Yeah, if you're ready, you join that challenge, Elena. Use that discount code, the live discount code, because we're getting ready to get out of here. I tell you, until you guys, when y'all stop with the questions, I get out of here. As soon as I can afford it, I'll subscribe. There's a lot of stuff on my page, folks. There's a lot of stuff. You can get the Ultimate Veggie Guide. Go get the Ultimate Veggie Guide. You can download. You can go register for the masterclass. It's absolutely free masterclass where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. All right. 10.2. It's a 6.2 and 2.1. You want from a? Oh, shout out to you, Catherine. Sorry, sir. My service died. Did you say yes on the eggplant? Yes, you can do eggplant. Eggplant is a non-starchy veggie. So, but if eggplants are, I hate eggplants. I hate eggplants and Brussels sprouts. You can do eggplants and Brussels sprouts. You know what I mean? You got some. 10.2 it's 10.2 and to 6.2 in 2 months. Shout out to you, True Poppy. Manjaro had me in the emergency care room twice. Don't do it. Somebody said it. Beezy, we need the story. Yeah, tell us the story, Beezy. Because here's the thing. Beezy's story, probably just like my story, probably just like all the other people who have reverse type 2 diabetes. It got to a point where something clicked. And they decided, you know what? Something clicked. And they just said, I'm going to change. I'm going to change. Something happened in their life. Something happened. You don't get the results first. If that's what you want, you'll quit. The moment they don't show up on schedule, you're going to quit. You want the results first, you're going to quit. Soon as you don't get the results you're looking for, you're like, I ain't really want this shit in the first place. I ain't really want to do this work. You're going to quit. You don't get the results first. You get the work first. Remember that saying. You don't get the results first. You don't get the reverse type 2 diabetes first. You don't get to get off your medication first. No. I'm sorry. If anybody told you that that's the case, like I can just get off of these medications. I can get off my insulin first, right? Yeah. I can get off the metformin first, right? All I got to do is just like wish and hope. Nah. If you thought it worked that way, whoo, man, I'm really sorry to be the one to break it, be the bearer of bad news. But you don't get the results first. You know what I'm saying? You get the work first. You get the result. You get the work first. Why don't doctors prescribe anything when you're pre-diabetic? Well, it's because it's serious, but it's not that serious. Most doctors won't even mention it when you got pre-diabetes. Hell, some don't even want to mention the hell when you got all full-fledged diabetes. You know what I mean? Shout out to the doctors. Love the doctors, but that's, and it's not medical advice, but it's not in the best interest of their practice. Okay? They got to keep you coming back. You got to keep on coming back. That's how they, you know what I mean? That's how they survive. Here we go. All right, that's it, folks. Y'all ain't got no more questions, so we're out of here. We'll see y'all another day. We'll see y'all a little bit. Maybe we'll see y'all a bit later tonight, but we'll holler at y'all, folks. See, here y'all go with the question. I thought y'all was done. What are you doing, folks? Hi, it's 10 millimole. It's 10 millimole before lunch. Better using different metric. I don't know that metric. Tell me what that is in American metrics. My primary acted like it wasn't serious, shaking my head. He didn't give me any information or want. Precisely. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Karamachi? Because they got to keep you coming back. Keep on coming back. Keep on coming. That's how the you know, that's how the money goes. That's how it goes. How it goes behind the scenes. It's the hardest. You knew what was going on behind the scenes and why they didn't tell you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You'd understand. Like, really told you what's going on behind the scenes. That's why they didn't tell you. It's the hardest work I've ever had to do, but beating diabetes was the best thing I ever did. John Vogler, man, we're gonna end the live on this one. I couldn't even have said it better my damn self, man. It's the hardest thing you ever had to do, but beating it was the best thing you ever did. Damn it, Jason. Exercise for twice a day for 15 minutes, and I watched you and made sure to eat what's good for me. Okay, Beezy. Oh yeah, Beezy. I remember you now. I remember you, Beezy. I remember you're a truck driver. Is that right? Don't get me wrong. You're a truck driver, Beezy. I'll tell you, you're a truck driver. I think that's you. Let me see. My blood sugar used to get up to the 300s. They told me I should take metformin. Yeah, what is it now? After the challenge, tell us about your experience in the challenge, Beezy. Living in a nursing home until I get spinal surgery. Meanwhile, the dietary staff will not help me. I got you. And sorry to hear that. I can do both, but thank you, sir, for the clarification. Thank you. I decided not to, and I started taking insulin and boiling soup leaves and fasting. Okay. Is ground turkey good to eat when you have pre-diabetes? Yes, you can do ground turkey. Yes, that's good. It's not gonna raise your blood sugar. Intracranial hypertension. Oh, intracranial hypertension, basically spinal fluid pressure. Yeah, that's not my area, man. I ain't gonna comment on that one. That ain't my area. I have PCOS and insulin resistance, but not pre-diabetes. Well, if you have insulin resistance and pre-diabetes, or if you have insulin resistance of the ovaries, that's what pre-diabetes or PCOS is, sorry, then this 14-day challenge is calling your name, right? Any form of insulin resistance, even if it's in the ovaries, aka PCOS, it's calling your name. We got any medication that you got for your PCOS, I'm gonna put it up against this 14-day challenge, and it's going to lose. We're going to win. I'm gonna bet the house on black. Okay? Sounds fair enough to me. Okay. I went back a little bit too far, I think. Yeah. Yep, truck driver. Yep, I remember. Yep, sure did. Yep, I remember. See, I remember everybody, folks. I got like a what do you call it? I got a photogenic memory. Yeah. Yep, you got me great memory because I came to you about 3 months ago. Yep. And I remember when you joined the challenge, we signed up on the phone. It was over the phone we signed up. Right? I remember. Yep. It wasn't on the live, but it was on the. I remember. Yeah, photographic memory. I think butter beans can increase your glucose. It's going to increase your glucose, but it's how it's doing it. It's a resistant starch. It's how it's doing it. It's doing it slowly. That gives your insulin a chance to respond. That's retraining your insulin. You see what I'm saying? Yes, it's reversible. Yes, it is reversible. Many people have done. I reversed it. You can reverse it. Here it is. I'm going to show you when I reversed it, and we're getting out of here for real. I keep saying it, but we ain't got out of here yet. Here it is. There it is. Here it is right here. Boom. That's it. That's called reversing it right there. When I reversed it, that's called reversal right there. That's it right there. That's how you reverse it. You can reverse it. You can reverse it. I reversed it. Many other people have reversed it. What the hell makes me any different than you? What the hell makes them any different than you? I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. I'm gonna tell you what the difference is the people who've reversed it versus the people who haven't reversed it yet. Because type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. The only people that reverse it are those people that got that dog in them. You know what I'm saying? People that got that dog in them. You know what I'm talking about? That dog like roof. Like they're like Kobe Bryant, like some old Mamba mentalities type of stuff. Those are the people that reversed it. Those are the 10% of people that I'm talking about that got that dog in them. If you ain't got that dog in you, if you're not resilient, you're gonna stop the first chance that you get. I told you what happens. If you don't get the results first, you'll quit the moment they don't show up on schedule. You're gonna quit. That means you ain't got that dog in you. You know what I'm saying? Close out with the sign up. Yeah, you sign. We're getting ready to get out of here. So if you want to sign up, now is the time to sign up for that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Do you like? How do you? I like be like you, Kelley. It's not about being like me. It's about being yourself. But you got to have that dog. You got to have that dogged mentality. That like, I'm going to get it done no matter what. No matter what. Not everybody's built that way. I found out that not everybody's built that way. Not everybody said, I'm going to do whatever. Not everybody's going to fall in love and do what it takes to get what you want. Learn to love what it takes to get what you want. Not everybody's built like that. I'm sorry. You know, not everybody's like that. 10% of people are like that. Those are called the fantastic few. The mediocre many, that's the 90%. That's the 90% of folks. So even though type 2 diabetes is reversible and they know it, but they're not going to do it. That's the 90%. It's called the mediocre many. You don't want to be part of that mediocre many. You want to be part of the fantastic few. What do I have to do for the challenge? You got to show up, you got to do the work, and you got to do it again the next day. Everything's all laid out for you. What to eat, when to eat, how to eat, how much to eat, it's all laid out for you. All the recipes, all of the everything, all of the format, all you got to do is just show it. It's digital, right? All you got to do is show up, watch the video. What does the video say to do? Okay, do that. Then once you do that, then you put on the next video. And what does it say to do? Okay, do that. And then you do that, and then you do that, and then you do. At the end of 14 days, it's a system, folks. Over 400 people have done it. You do that at the end of 14 days, you're going to look at your blood sugar, and you'll be like, what the? You don't think it's somebody else's. You don't think that like Robin Hood came through and stole your stuff and gave you a different blood sugar monitor. Yeah. Here it is. Yes, my bio right here. You click here. And you click on my picture again. Sorry about the Robin Hood thing, folks. Sometimes I just get a little crazy, you know what I mean? But it just comes out my dome. I don't even, you know. But if you click here, you click on my picture again. You got to click on my picture again. Click on my face, and you click right here. Here it is. There's the quiz. Oh, sorry, not the quiz. There's the ultimate veggie guide, but here that's free, folks. The ultimate veggie guide is absolutely free. Got another one coming soon. The bean cheat sheets on the way. But here it is. The 14-day challenge is right here. There it is. Do you have a number to join? I have a discount code for you. That discount code is PROGRESS. PROGRESS is the discount code to join the challenge at 20% off. What you can expect? You can expect for me to take you outside of your comfort zone, but you're going to like it. You're going to like it. I guarantee you. You ever watch that commercial with, what's the soup commercial when they say, what's the name of that commercial when their slogan is, you're going to like the way that you look. I guarantee it. Hey, what's that commercial that says that? You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. What is it? Somebody tell me what it is. Don't like the way you look. I guarantee it. Hey, Kelley, I'm interested. What happens after the 14 days? How to maintain or repeat the process? No, you go beyond the challenge. You go beyond. I have another program called Beyond the Challenge, but you got to get through the 14 days first. You can't go beyond the challenge. That's 8 more weeks. You can't go beyond the challenge unless you get through the challenge first, right? Because I told you, there's only a select few of people who are actually going to do the work. Are you going to be part of the fantastic few, or are you going to be part of the mediocre many? Because there may be a lot of people who sign up for the challenge and join the challenge, but not everybody makes it through. Because again, it's only a few. Even within those few, there's even fewer than that who actually make it to the end. But when you make it to the end, that's when we determine, yeah, you can keep going. You can keep going beyond the challenge. But you make it to the end, but like, yo, okay, let's check your progress. What did you do? You're like, nah, I was just half stepping. I was half stepping during the process. So I kind of did it, but then I kind of didn't kind of do it. So they were like, nah. No. You're not gonna go beyond the challenge. You know what I'm saying? So there's people in beyond the challenge who have lost 52 pounds. Someone's lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds. Just doing this work, folks. 100 pounds in 6 months. He was going to come on the other day and tell his story. He'll be on, though. He'll be on to tell his story. Someone else he had to go to work, but there's some other folks that have lost 52 pounds in 3 months. Yeah, it's beyond the challenge. But here it is. Here it is right here, folks. Let me see. I'm on. It's normally, that's what you can expect. $99 to join that challenge. Use that discount code, progress, $79. $79. You're going to like the way you look, I guarantee you. What is the name of that commercial? Yeah, nobody knows the name of that commercial. It's with the gentleman, the guy who wears the tuxes, and you know what I'm saying. Okay, gotcha. Sorry I missed it. Got to read up more on your page. Yeah, Kelley, can you eat whatever now? Yes, I can. I can eat whatever now because I have full metabolic restoration. So yes, the answer to your question, I can't eat what I want now. Do I continue to eat what I want? No, but I could if I wanted to, because this is going to go up and it's going to come back within 2 hours. Within 2 hours, it's going to be back. That's called full metabolic restoration. The Men's Warehouse, that's it. You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. Thank you, yeah, Mikey. You do this 14-day challenge. At the end of the 14 days, you're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it. You're going to like the way you feel. I guarantee it. I guarantee. Isn't that right, Catherine? Catherine did the 14-day challenge, and she liked the way she feels. Didn't you like the way you feel, Catherine? Just like the Men's Warehouse. Kelley, do you classify yourself as a diabetic anymore? I hate that title. Nope. Full metabolic restoration. I had diabetes. I don't have it anymore. Had. H-A-D. There's no such thing as remission. People like to use that word remission. That's baloney. There's no such thing as freaking remission. Ain't no such thing as no remission. Remission means that the numbers are just looking good because you're controlling it with some medication. That's remission. But the second you stop taking that medication, maybe the second you use medication to bring it down, but then you stop taking the medication, then you ain't no longer in remission. It's back. It's back with a vengeance. It's back. That's like that movie. When they said it's come back, it's come back. Yeah, the weight comes back. The high blood sugar comes back. I like the way you leaned into that. Thank you very kindly. Yeah, Mikey. I still don't eat sweets just because I'm used to not eating sweets anymore. Exactly. You joined the challenge and now you don't even want sweets like that no more, right? Exactly. Day 5, day 7 is when the cravings start to go away. The reports come back. Day 5, day 7. That's when the reports come back. Cravings gone. All right. Oh, I get it. What you're saying now. That's it, folks. We'll end it with that. Here's the thing. Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. It is. This is a personal choice. No matter how you look at it, no matter, you know what I mean? I know you don't want to hear that, but it is a personal choice. Exactly. Yeah, I did. Yes, I did the 14-day challenge reset and did exactly what I needed to do, which got my A1C down. That's it. Did exactly what I needed to do in 14 days. Type 2 diabetes is a personal choice. No matter how you look at it, I'm sorry to say that, but it's just true. It's the truth. It's a personal choice. You see, when we're born, we look like our parents. You know, maybe you look like your mom. I look like my dad. You know, when we're born, we look exactly like our parents. But when we die, whoo! When we die, on the other hand, we look exactly like our choices. Oh, yeah. One thing right at the end. One more product. I killed on that shit. Yeah. Everybody want to die. Nobody wants to. I mean, everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. You feel what I'm saying?